What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, a fantastic afternoon, a fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, all the girls, and all the MBs are having a fantastic one. Now entering the HasanAbi cinematic universe. Yes, this is true. I just want to say that the reason why I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one is because it's a beautiful day here. April 13th, 2022, Wednesday. And it's 63 degrees and sunny here in California, Los Angeles. And as you guys know, the weather greatly improves my mood or makes it worse. Spent the entire morning tanning while getting my daily dose of news and preparing for the show. I was able to get a little bit of sunlight and made me fucking feel really good. And I hope you guys are also doing something similar in your lives that make you feel better. You know, it's all the little things. I was also on Twitter the entire morning, not touching grass. Doing the opposite of touching grass while simultaneously acquiring some vitamin D. Continuing an argument with Dimfool on Twitter? No, I mean, I wasn't just doing that. I mean, I had some time, though. I had some time on my motherfucking hands this morning, baby. Let me tell you. That's basically what I did. Last night, I ended the broadcast. And honestly, I don't even know. I didn't really do anything last night. I ended the broadcast and I went to sleep early. There's a manhunt going on. I don't believe they fought him. They found him yet, right? They ID'd him, but I don't think they found him. You're a millionaire, but you're broke in the marketplace of ideas? Yeah, I'm trending again this morning for the dumbest reason. Is I responded to Tim Pool. Oh, they just arrested him? Oh, nice. Okay. Congratulations. The NYPD for actually getting, for actually doing something. Okay. Anyway, I'm on campus watching before class, getting a political science degree because of your inspiration. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be in debt forever. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Why are you avoiding Dimpool by streaming 6 days a week? So selfish. I don't understand. Like, even if I was streaming 2 days a week, I probably still wouldn't go to Dimpool's studio. Like, we'll talk about all that in a second. Here, I'll just fucking blast off immediately, before early as hell. I mean, there isn't, because there's nothing going on in my life. I'm just, you know. Supposed to be at a university, but I got COVID. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. Anyway, okay. I know the Grand Rapids story is coming out today. We're not going to be able to watch it. Are you going to talk about the Valorant drama? I don't know what that is. Yeah, Sam, why don't you throw away a couple days of income to be made feel uncomfortable in a creepy dude's conservator? Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, I'm live, and the has been apprehended. I haven't seen a single fucking news story that says the gunman has been apprehended yet. What is going on right now? Police hunt gunman who wounded 10 in Brooklyn subway attack. But that doesn't say they actually caught him. Why are you guys saying that they caught him? Am I like... Oh, has been arrested. Okay, he has been arrested. Never mind. Got it. Okay. Got it. The AP did not show that it was that he was arrested. The article that you guys are sending me does not show that. But it was fine. They got him. Starbucks unionization is popping off. And why won't talk to me on he wants to debate that badly. Find out. No. Get in. www.twitch.tv/HasanAbi. Valorant drama mentioned before is a pro player accused of rapes come back to play after ban following rape accusation. Yeah, I saw some of that stuff. Yes, and I know the fucking guy, Frank James, the shooter that was apprehended, luckily, thank God, was a psycho. Okay? Was an absolute psycho. We're going to talk about that. I can't wait for like the 11 million articles written about like black nationalism, black separatism, and how damaging and dangerous it is, and how actually that's the real problem and not white nationalism, or that people will say like this is exactly the same. It's probably already happening. One, the immediate conflation is going to be to Black Lives Matter in general. Okay. Two, they're going to say that this dude is, you know, he was a BLM activist or something, and that like because of that, you know, media is going to hide his background. And then three, I think they'll just say like, you know, black nationalism is just as damaging or something. I don't know. Lee Fong, black Brooklyn shooter, had a long history of black identity extremism, like lots of mass shooters. But many leftists simultaneously argue that this ideology doesn't exist and the FBI should ignore it. And if the police, bro, come on, dude, you work at the Intercept. You're really gonna make an advocacy for? Like, at least I'm honest when it comes to the fucking white supremacist terror and the way to deal with it. There are far more consequential and important structural problems that we need to address, or like, you know, foiling terror plots that the FBI creates itself. How are you going to turn around and be like, no, but the surveillance apparatus should do exactly all of that to fucking, you know, the 11 people that believe in this shit. We'll talk about all that. He could be pro BLM if he's going on the subway Sunset Park trying to kill black people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous when someone's like, "Yeah, I love BLM," which is why I, you know. Did you tweet? No, not yet. Hold on, I'm gonna do that right now. 1 second. Does anyone have a? I mean, his ideology, his ideas are you know, wild as fuck. There are, this is firmly in black people's business, okay? Like, if we're being real, we're firmly going to be entering black people's business for a second. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick peek. Yeah, there's a new real life lore video out there too. That's we're gonna watch that as well. Okay, let me just find a fucking blast off tweet though first. Okay, let's see. Fair warning, there was a big discussion by Debate Bros on this 6 months back. Expect Debate Bros. No, I know. Obviously I stayed the fuck away from that, and I will continue to stay the fuck away from shit like that. However, I know. Are we gonna have Druski talk today? Yeah, we are actually. Which is fucking ridiculous. We will be talking about Druski. Speaking of black people's business. Yeah. I thought that... like, the Druski put out a fucking video like he does, you know, like a funny TikTok. Or was it on Twitter? I don't know. He made a funny video. And then people fucking canceled him into like, or people yelled at him to delete it. And the video itself is like, ETP podcast hates on you. Dude, who? What the fuck is that? Why would you ever come in here and say stuff like that? I don't know who the fuck these people are, man. There's plenty of people who hate on me. I don't need to know them. Who cares? Okay, please stop making sunburn jokes. Oh my god. Oh, this actually is sick though. This is dope. Oh, okay. Former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows removed from NC voter rolls due to voter fraud investigation. How many Starbucks union reps are in here? The I Hate Hasan podcast really hates you. Yeah. You cover Ukraine today? No. As you know, I hide the truth about Ukraine and refuse to cover it every single day for probably approximately like 2 to 3 hours at the very least. So. Charlie Kirk with the private housing take? Yeah, I know. That was a really good one. Tap this. I'm just gonna use the trending tab to fucking go live, go off with the meme. That's gonna be my go live meme. Okay, here it is. Blast off, boys. How about you cover Ukraine with your big, juicy, muscular abs? Thank you for saying that. I do not have abs, unfortunately. But if I did, I would 100% use it to cover Ukraine. I would make it a no-fly zone. My abdominal muscles. But unfortunately, I do not have abdominal. I mean, I have abs, but they're fucking hidden under, you know, layers and layers of fat. I would trigger Article 5. I like the way you are. Guess I'm just different and above it. Thanks, M. HUD. Listen. New York mass shooter suspect watch Fresh and Fit unwind with Ash, AK, and Tanya TKO. Yeah, look, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, New York Scoop on Twitter has the fucking video apparently. Okay, so I'm gonna look at it. All right, I'm gonna look at it. But here it is. I'm live and alive. Brooklyn shooter has been apprehended. Starbucks Union Station is popping off. And why won't Tim Pool talk to me on Zoom if he wants to debate that badly? Find out now. Get in. Short, clear, concise. Obviously, we're still gonna talk about Ukraine as well. And we're going to talk about Grand Rapids. But yeah, apparently, before we get to the shooting thing, I was so wrong about the shooting. This dude is interesting as fuck. Yeah, I mean, he believes in like, I mean, he has like the prophet, he has like Elijah Muhammad posts. He has so much going on. He has like a lot of, I looked into his background, and his background is like, it's just wild, dude. It's actually fucking wild. And the reason why I say that is because like there is a very slow momentum and a very slow growing and otherwise like insulated and tiny community of people that like are turning into the way 4chan weirdos are about like Hotep shit. Okay. But of course, it's a really complicated thing because a lot of people, one, meme about it, two, you know, intra-community concepts, intra-community concepts like you know, and jokes and memes and shit like that are oftentimes, what is this? Why is this necessary? This you? Oh, I wish. Ultimately, the point is it just doesn't matter because it's not as impactful or it does not align with like the systemic goals of white supremacy. And that doesn't mean that like we shouldn't address these things by offering systemic solutions to black nationalist thought, or not like, and I'm not talking about like Pan-African nationalism. I'm talking about like, you know, reactionary Nation of Islam branches. Not even like someone who would consider like would have an aunt or a fucking uncle that goes to Nation of Islam mosques or churches or whatever the fuck, but is like otherwise completely oblivious to the overarching ideals. Ultimately thinking that like this kind of idea is in any way, shape, or form leftist is just because they're black. As a black person, can people stop dropping the Hotep word so casually so you just feel like y'all are trying to say the N-word? No, I mean, it's just, first of all, it's an interesting concept because like, I think a lot of white people didn't know what the fuck Hoteps were, and then they found out, and now they do use it aggressively and a lot. Talking about black nationalism with a white chat, I mean, I have done that before. So the shooter was Muslim? It's Ramadan. Why? No, the shooter's not Muslim. I don't think he was Muslim. Anyway, it's a complex concept, and I'm gonna give my fucking Caucasian ass take on it, as I always do on all of these issues, while trying to be as you know, sensitive as possible on said issues. Okay. We're going to talk about James Lindsey as well and how fucking insane conceptual James is. Dr. Timothy Concepts. But yeah, let's get started with this first.
Cause it's time to go beast mode. Cause it's time to go beast mode.
Why is this necessary? Because it's fucking awesome. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we're going to talk about Alex Walker. Where's the original video? This dude is running in Colorado. He's the gay Democrat taking down Lauren Boebert. 17 LA gangs have sent out crews to follow and rob city's wealthiest, LAPD says. More than a dozen Los Angeles gangs are targeting some of the city's wealthiest residents in a new and aggressive manner, sending out crews in multiple cars to find, follow, and rob people driving high-end vehicles or wearing expensive jewelry, according to the police. Yeah, notice how I'm not wearing any jewelry. That's why I'm hiding my assets. No, the follow home robberies phenomenon is real in Los Angeles. I fucking literally know someone that this happened to. It's just, you know, industrious individuals, definitely fucking putting people's lives in danger. Certainly, it's far from the norm. Obviously, statistically speaking, it's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Even though when it happens to you, you're not gonna fucking feel good about it. Obviously, it's fucking traumatizing, awful, and oftentimes can even turn into deadly. Turn into a deadly situation. For those of you who don't know, what ends up happening is what people do is like they'll literally wait. Like, I know someone this happened to, and he got shot, and his security literally killed one of the two people that shot him. If you guys remember, like when I was at the Reconstruct, there was some fucking dude. And he was talking to my friend, and I was like, "What happened?" And he explained the situation. He was like, "Yeah, I'm going back home." And he literally had like camera footage of the shooting, and I watched it. And basically what ended up happening was these two dudes that are, you know, obviously incredibly fucking desperate, rolled up on this guy, but he had security, and his security was armed, and they wanted his jewelry. They were like, he was like giving all of his jewelry and shit, okay, to them. And then the dude shot him in the leg, and luckily he had like 3 iPhones. He showed me a photo, and the bullet literally got lodged in the last one. And if it had actually gone through, he would have fucking died. Like, he would have hit an artery. Yeah. Like, he showed me a photo of 3 iPhones, like, or 2 iPhones back to back. I think he had a third one as well, but 2 iPhones like this with a bullet directly in it, like lodged in it. And I mean, he still ended up getting shot, by the way, in the end. And we're going to talk about the Brooklyn subway shooting in a second after I'm done with this, but He still got shot in the end, and one of his security like actually shot and killed one of the suspects. The other one got away. I don't know what happened in the end. I forgot. Maybe he got arrested. I don't really know. But it is definitely something that is like, while robberies and theft is down, this is one of those things that a lot of people hyper focus on because it's like high priority, high value targets. You know what I mean? So it's definitely very newsworthy. So while, you know, crime and property theft is lower than years prior and continuing to go down, this is one way that people can make you stay and pay attention to and hyper focus on. Were they carrying multiple phones in case of a robbery? I don't know why the fuck they had multiple phones. This is rich people shit. I don't fucking know. So, this is definitely something. I mean, I've talked about this before. The follow home robberies is something that I think the LAPD is using as a way to continue the conversation of crime, blowing the fuck up. And exaggerating the situation by, focusing on something that is inherently really, really traumatizing, and that makes everyone who is above a certain level of wealth in Los Angeles feel unsafe. And they're doing it deliberately. They're saying, like, that's why you need to give us more money. And it's like, motherfucker, what have you done then? Like, what have you done so far? You haven't done shit. Just like the fucking 4,000 cops stationed at like every subway station wasn't able to stop a 5'5", out of shape, like 60-year-old dude from doing this like calculated strike. Luckily, he was dog shit at fucking aiming and couldn't kill anybody. But goddamn, dude. I mean, the answer always is, well, we need more cops. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You couldn't even stop Short King Spring. Exactly. You couldn't even fucking stop like this dude. Like the only thing that stopped this dude from actually fucking taking bodies was his own lack of his own dog shit aim, basically. Level 1 shooter with sliders, with attribute sliders all the way down, 0.00 KDA, still got away for a whole day. Yeah, it's just wild. It's wild. It's wild. So, much to think about here. True criminals are the fucking cops who seize assets they manage to recover from robberies. I mean, there's that too. So, a cop behind every single person. Every single person a cop. Every single person a cop. That's the goal for a better tomorrow. The area with the most robberies during that time was LAPD's Hollywood division with 50, followed by 46 in the Wilshire division and 40 in the Central division, which includes downtown. The Pacific division had 17, West LA 15, North Hollywood 14, Topanga 11. Tippett did not say how many robberies police attributed to which gangs, but said individuals allegedly affiliated with both the Bloods and Crips have been identified among the culprits. Suspects who police have identified have pleaded not guilty and their cases are pending. The task force is still working on building cases against other suspects. Through surveillance video and other evidence, police have identified crews rolling through to 5 cars deep in some of the attacks, Tippett said, with gang members jumping out and blindsiding victims. So it's gruesome. It's scary as fuck. And it completely personalizes this kind of crime for a lot of rich people in Los Angeles. So that's why I'm very familiar with this, because a lot of people that I am, aware of or even friends with or know, or the people that are in my fucking social circles post about this shit non-fucking stop. And it's totally tied back to the idea that crime is on the rise and it's fucking crazy and it's crime is on the rise and it's popping the fuck off. So socialism is when the rich, you get robbed, smile. Yeah. Yeah, that's socialism. There's no chance or opportunity for these victims to even comply. They're just running up to people and attacking them, whether it's putting a gun in their face or punching them and beating them up. Pistol whipping them as well. Shots have been fired in 23 cases. 2 victims have been killed. In my 34 years on the job, I've never seen anything like this. The trend in a city known for opulence as well as extreme poverty comes at the time where, there you go. And here it is. This is the actual part. Okay? We can't live in beautiful heaven. We can't live in fucking Elysium and expect people that prop up this entire system to not take matters into their own fucking hands at some point. Now, are they doing it through incredibly violent means? And by the way, this can happen to me too. 100%. I don't have any like fucking real jewelry, but from afar, plenty of people think I have a lot of fucking jewelry. You know what I mean? All the shit that I wear is fake, but maybe they think it's real from afar. You know what I mean? Maybe they want to rob me. I have a nice car now. Okay. Should have kept the Camry. I still have it, baby. What are you talking about? So.
Okay, there is literal.
We'll look at that in a second. Okay. It still sucks. It still fucking sucks because nobody deserves to get shot over fucking jewelry. And nobody deserves to get traumatized. You know what I mean? You're calling worker people Morlocks? What? Camrys from when he leaves the LARP as a poor, or when my electric vehicle fucking, acts like an iPhone and like breaks down or some shit, or I can't charge it for some reason. Maybe that's the reason why I still have it. Also, why would I throw away a perfectly fine car that my mom uses every time she's here and my brother uses all the fucking time? Fucking weirdos. Anyway, do you think right-wing New York politicians would blame AOC this for their eat the rich rhetoric? No, this is like the problem with people's understanding of what it means to say ACAP or eat the rich is that it's a slogan that has a deeper meaning that analyzes the structural problems rather than justifications for individualized acts of violence against like random rich people, or means that like every cop automatically all the time is like a bad person, even though a lot are. Okay? The issue is that these are slogans. Just like Black Lives Matter is a slogan. Okay? Just like when people say, I hate all men, or men are trash, all men are trash, or fuck white people. Like, in a lot of instances, these slogans come from marginalized communities who are sick and tired, and this is the only way for them to quickly and concisely describe their position. Okay? Does not mean like, literally fucking kill every guy on the planet. Believe all women does not mean every woman you need to believe automatically, and that like women are impossible. They're physically incapable of lying. It just means don't reflexively disbelieve women in the way that people do. Okay? Opposition takes it literally. It's the problem. It doesn't matter. The opposition is doing it in a disingenuous capacity. And what you must do in that situation is correctly and adequately point out what this is. Okay? Wait, are you suggesting that 3-word slogans don't capture the nuance of a situation? Exactly. But yeah, this is it. This is why it's happening. It's the reality. Perhaps maybe wealthy people should try to, join up and rise up and try to do their very best to ensure that there is some kind of addressal of these systemic inequalities that causes people to become criminals that engage in like horrific, heinous, violent acts of crime. Nobody who's comfortable is doing that shit. You know what I mean? And if you don't do that, and your reaction is like, no, we need to fucking increase funding for the cops so they like kill random people. Or there needs to be a cop stationed outside of every fucking rich person's house. It's like, well, you're not addressing it. You're not addressing the problem. Someone robbed the gas station near me, and I literally told the guy I'm doing this for my 6th son. If they kill enough people, they'll eventually kill the robbers. Yeah. So, for those of you who are like, oh yeah, dude, it's fucking sick. Like, it's sick that this is happening. Like, I mean, there's like random people that don't deserve. I mean, there's plenty of people who don't deserve it. No one deserves to feel fucking unsafe like that, But the way to solve this problem is not by fucking making, just giving more guns to cops. Clearly, we've done that, and clearly it has failed. You know what I mean? Disastrously. You need to tackle the problem at its root. And the root cause of this problem is wealth inequality, wealth disparity. Okay? It's the material conditions that people are subjected to. And yes, I do think violent criminals can be rehabilitated. Of course I do. The intense focus has also caused some consternation among activists and criminal justice reform advocates who worry that wealthy residents with political clout and politicians eager to please them will use the trend based in part on fraught and sometimes false police assessment of gang involvement to claw back past policing reforms. One prominent activist, Hamid Khan, on Tuesday accused the LAPD of week after week of sensationalism about crime in the city, suggesting police were blowing up crime trends out of proportion to maintain their grip on the city's budget. LAPD has to constantly legitimize itself, constantly to make itself useful to the community by raising this specter of people running wild. Police said their intent is simply to draw attention to and halt a serious and potentially deadly surge in armed robberies. How the fuck are people going to do that? I mean, it's not a lie. This is real. This is something that is happening, okay? It is, of course, insanely low likelihood, but it could happen. It could happen to me as well, okay? And when you're going through it, you're not going to be like, oh, man, what about the systemic, failures that caused this person to get to this situation? And I think a lot of people do become reactionary as a fear of this happening to them, especially very rich people. The follow-off robberies first started getting attention towards the end of last year when the number of incidents spiked dramatically and celebrities started to fall victim, including actor and former BET host Terrence Jenkins and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley. In a 4-week period from September to October, there were 45 follow-off robberies. In November, there were another 39. In an interview with Los Angeles Times, Tippett said that work, and particularly the arrest of some of the alleged gang members, has made a substantial difference, driving down the number of incidents to just 10 in March. However, the trend is still a major concern. You ever work out why your aunt from TYT started buying into the crime wave fear-mongering? My aunt? My aunt, bro. Why are you trying to justify criminal actions? Brother, I'm not justifying criminal actions when I say these are still horrifically traumatizing experiences that people are subjected to. But what we must do is tackle the root cause of said crime. The problem is your brain is broken, okay? You don't even want to hear anything. You just want me to sit here and say, cops should literally blow these sick freaks up, okay? They should just, if you see a fucking car that's out of place in a wealthy neighborhood, blow it up. Shoot it. That's what we should be doing. This is how we stop the crime wave. They're coming after our monies. They're coming after the wealthy people who are jobs providers and productive members of society. And that's what you want to hear. That's going to be comforting for you, for me to fucking scree with a bloodthirsty attitude towards like anyone that doesn't belong in a wealthy neighborhood. But I understand that that's a broken society. Okay? It's not a functional one. That's a broken society. And that sucks. God, it's so easy. It's so fucking easy for me to just be a fucking reactionary. I swear to God, dude. Man, when you have a shit car and you get lost in a rich neighborhood and Judge Dredd RPGs you, exactly. That's what they fucking want. Anyway, you guys should stop spending so much on ex-military vehicles and spend more on job centers and community hubs. Exactly. People with fucking jobs, people with opportunities, people that don't need to rely on a gang structure to have some sense of community and some sense of job prospects that are completely outside of like the legal job marketplace are not going to fucking join a life of crime, okay? People just fail to recognize that when we talk about like gangs, Bloods, Crips, these people live literally like 2 to 3 miles away from where I live. These are human beings, okay? Some of them engage in, acts of violence. But every single one of them is a human being. They all have mothers, they all have fathers, they were all children at some point, okay? And if we don't analyze the reasons as to why they have joined gangs, the reason if we don't look into what happens, like what kind of lack of safety structure that these communities that have been left behind have, so much so that they end up like joining a gang for that same semblance of community safety security, you're never going to be able to identify why shit like this happens. They got nothing. And no, we haven't even been ignoring it for like 40 years. The LAPD was a part of it for the longest time. They were like, yeah, this is sick. We'll do it. When all these rich people in the hills have a massive influence over policy, are they kind of not responsible for this outcome? They keep out low-income housing. They're politically active because they have the time. This is on their hands. Same logic applies to the 9/11 take. No. Yeah, but it can also happen to random people who are, not advocates for such things regardless. That's what I'm saying. And ultimately, 9/11 as an act is directly a horrific act of violence that killed a bunch of innocent people. So yeah, it is exactly like 9/11 in the sense that, like, when I say America deserved 9/11, I'm talking about the government. I'm not talking about fucking the citizens. Obviously, the citizens didn't deserve the fucking gross act of violence that they were subjected to. They didn't deserve to fucking melt inside the buildings. You know what I mean? But that goes along with what I'm describing to people. Okay? What I'm describing to people is the innocence that even most like random people have. How do you respond to allegations that you pussied out of a Tim Pool debate, Steven Crowder style? Did you just permanently ban Alec Gunter? I think they were just memeing. And I am going to get to it, but I mean, I don't think this person's brain is broken. Like, I think they were just joking. We'll make a little worth. Okay, now I'm going to ban him, dumbass. People could be perceived as rich too and targeted even if they're not. They're living out of their means to fit into LA culture. I mean, there's always going to be fucking people who just get caught. But I say, for that very same reason, I say, listen, let's solve these issues rather than try to increase policing and try to increase the reactionary attitudes. Try to get whipped up in a fucking frenzy that is going to become worse for everyone. It's going to turn this outcome into a worse situation overall. We're getting whipped up with right-wing hysteria. Okay? When he took the unusual step of briefing the police commission on the alleged actions of such suspect, 18-year-old Matthew Adams. Adams, according to Moore, was involved in 8 separate follow-up robberies over a 6-month period starting last fall, including one in which 2 UCLA students were robbed of 2 watches worth nearly $145,000 after leaving a club. A second in which 2 foreign tourists were robbed of watches worth $73,000, and a third in which $51,000 in property was stolen. During the course of the 8 robberies, which occurred between September and February, Adams was arrested 3 times. First was on January 9th, when Moore said Adams was found in a car that had been used in one of the robberies where a gun was also found. Online court records show no charges were ever filed against Adams in that case, suggesting prosecutors were unconvinced they could win a conviction. Adams was arrested again on January 27th and a third time on 21st, and in both cases charged with illegal gun possession. The reason was a pandemic-related rule aimed at reducing the jail population that requires LA County defendants to be released without posting bail for certain offenses. Adams, who could not be reached for comment, had since been arrested a fourth time on charges related to 7 robberies, to which he has pleaded not guilty. The public defender's office, which represented him during this arraignment, declined to comment on the case. He remains in custody according to court records. Now, this is the exact same kind of anecdote that the entirety of the media apparatus is currently pumping out as commonplace, common practice. That, like, cops aren't even fucking arresting people. And the prosecutor's office are letting them go once they are arrested because of our jail population decrease. Our goals in decreasing the jail population. Meanwhile, this is, again, a unique circumstance. It's still anecdotal. Now, why is it a unique circumstance? Why is it a unique circumstance? Oh, that dude that I made fun of responded to me. I fired my therapist and I'm ready to talk. That's awesome. Maybe I might have him on potentially. We'll see. Okay. Why am I saying this? Not saying to deserve to be robbed, but isn't owning a $75,000 watch inherently evil and fucked up? I mean, it's hard. When I hear the amounts that that this dude fucking took off these kids, like, it's hard for me to be like, that's completely unacceptable. But it is. It still is. It still is. You just can't. You can't do that. Like, you just can't do that. Okay? You can't. I mean, it's crazy. What the fuck? How do you have a $150,000 watch on you? What the fuck? But also, you just can't do that. I'm sorry. You can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Jesus fucking Christ, though. Holy shit, dude. What? How much was your car again? Exactly, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. My car costs as much as this kid's watch, dude. What? Yeah. Can you ride your watch to work? What the fuck? Bro, can a watch pick up groceries? Can a watch, drive around a fucking entire family for 250 miles until the fucking, battery runs out? It's the same shit your fucking phone has. It tells time. Your phone tells time. Yeah, but I bet your car only has 2 clocks. Yeah, my car has a watch in it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I don't know, man. If you're wearing a $150,000 watch, you don't need it and would be better off getting redistributed to the community. You're right, but that's not how you do it. You can't do it like that. That's not how it works. You want to know why that's not how it works? Because those motherfuckers have proximity to power that you do not. Okay? So when you do that to those motherfuckers, they're going to turn around and advocate to kill you. Okay? And they already kill you through the structural violence of poverty, but now they're going to directly advocate to kill you further. They already kill you through the police force that they beef up, okay? But now they're going to, they're going to advocate to kill you even more. You don't want that. That's not how, that's how the societal structure falls apart. That's how we reach the ANCAP utopia, okay? That's how we get to Elysium. They're going to get you killed even harder. Oh, so it's about civility, you lib, let us yoink? No, it's not. This has nothing to do with civility. Like, you didn't solve, you didn't do wealth redistribution by robbing some fucking, rich kid that goes to UCLA. You know what I mean? As annoying as that fucking kid probably is, let's be real. You know? There's also a reason why I don't have any of that shit, because I think it's ridiculous. Why are you hating? If that's how we get to Elysium, how do we get to a Guy Ritchie movie? By stealing watches. That's how you do it. The stories of the robberies become exaggerated because they want to impress their other bubble friends, and the stories snowball so far from the truth, but get stated like they're fact. Yeah. Like, this is a unique circumstance. And there's a couple more like this. There's, like, car robberies. There's a guy who does, like, Grand Theft Auto, gets literally arrested and then released immediately, does it again later that day. You know what I mean? And fucking ridiculous. Another funny part about it is, like, people are always like, dude, what if, you know, I can't wait for someone to rob you. It's like, motherfucker, what are they going to rob, dude? Are they going to steal my fucking cameras? Okay, I'll go back to the Logitech Brio. Like, what if they rob your house, bro? What are they going to do? They're going to rob my house? Are they going to just fucking squat in my house or something? Like, that's insane. They're just going to put the house in a bag and run away. The problem is 100K watches exist, not whose hands they're in. That's not even the fucking problem. I mean, that is kind of a problem. That's fucking ridiculous. But, like, the real problem is that people can't, not only luxury goods, people can't afford anything. People can't afford fucking food. The problem is people can't afford food when others can buy $150,000 watches. That's the problem. Okay? They're going to take your Porsche, dude. I mean, go off, king. You know? It's literally fucking non-stop. It's straight up a what do you call it? It's tracked to the fucking T. It's insured. It's tracked. What do you want? It's the dumbest. The dumbest thing you could do is steal a fucking electric vehicle, like an electric Porsche that straight up tells me in real time exactly where it is. Like, there's no way to... It's a leased electric vehicle that has, like, straight up a black box that tells you in real time exactly where it is. It's also an EV, so I don't know what you're going to do. Like, what? You're set up a fucking, charging station in the back, too? It's basically like a fucking phone. It's an iPhone. Yeah. Homie's about to steal it. Homie's about to steal the car for 230 miles, okay? And then it's over. You're so stupid. You living in that house will make them think you hide an expensive shit. Unless you give them expensive shit, they're going to hurt you. Anyway, my cousin has a lease here in Detroit, and his car has been stolen twice. They just give her a new one, Lamal. Okay, so I don't think a lot of you realize how rich a lot of people in LA are compared to me. Yes, that is 100% true. I'm fucking baby rich out here, straight up. But it doesn't matter. I am still infinitely more wealthy than a person who is subjected to so much horrifying structural poverty that they literally go out and do shit like this, okay? I mean, it's just the unfortunate reality here.
Downtown, where robbers deliberately hit a woman with their car just so they could steal her watch, we're told. Uptick in these follow-home crimes are so alarming now, LAPD has formed a task force to stop those thieves. CBS 2's Jasmine Veal has the latest on the crime trend from the LAPD chief tonight.
Security cam video in downtown LA catches another violent robbery Monday. Robbers smashed the car window of a woman who had just left a watch repair shop and was stopped at a light near 8th Street. As she tries to run, the suspects chase her down.
I'm saying they're not going to leave until they get what they came for, expensive shit. Like, they're going to believe you own nothing high value when you live in a $3 million house. I mean, it's true. What do you want me to do? I hope someone you know breaks into your house and throws you a surprise party.
Down in their car, hitting her seconds later. She throws her expensive watch in a last-ditch effort to give them what they want.
In my 34 years in the LAPD, I had never seen this type of criminal behavior in such large groups, coordinating to conduct attacks on unsuspecting citizens to take their property and or vehicles.
LAPD Captain Jonathan Tippett, who spearheads a newly formed task force to target these follow-home robberies, talked to the Police Commission Tuesday about the alarming trend that peaked last November. The task force was formed the same month following the murder of a man in front of the Bossa Nova restaurant on Sunset Boulevard during an attempted robbery.
This is a phenomenon that prior to last year was almost unheard of, and to the best of my knowledge, specific to Los Angeles.
Tippett says there were 165 of these follow-home robberies last year. This year, there are already 56.
If you were to believe the news, you would think Los Angeles is a Mad Max hellscape. Yeah, I know. It's really funny when, like, the coordinated robbery attempts were happening at, like, during holiday season, as it literally always does. Okay? While the coordinated robberies that were occurring at, like, you know, fucking Melrose, Fairfax, like all those fucking storefronts out there, people were like losing their shit, right? And it was like they made it seem like it was a gigantic deal, like it was fucking crazy. Like, look at all these storefronts that are destroyed. It's like, bro, look at all the fucking homeless people that are dying outside of your house, okay? Like, both of those things are a product of the same exact system that we fucking live under, okay? And you only give a shit when, like, the Louis Vuitton storefront is broken down and you fucking freak out. It's crazy. Holiday season is where robberies go up. Robberies are fucking awful, okay? It's traumatizing. I get it. I understand. It destroys it destroys the reason why we live in societies, okay? Like, we create societal formations. Why do we do that? Because we want to avoid danger. We want to avoid violence. We want to avoid the dangerous way that nature is, for example. So that's like the whole reason why we live in cities. The whole reason why we live with other human beings, okay? And when something like this happens, it breaks that facade. You're like, what the fuck? And it's wild when the cops that are so bad at preventing this sort of stuff from happening, because they're not created to prevent this sort of stuff from happening. They're just simply defending the actual fucking system where this sort of stuff is slated to happen. Okay? That's their job. That's their purpose. They're a fucking hammer and everything looks like a nail. But right now we need some fucking screwdrivers, okay? And it's like, no. The only way that cops can supposedly, quote unquote, defend this or stop this from happening is by advocating to get more money. I think people probably hate on you more because you don't show sympathy towards unfortunate people, victims. I do, though. I do. Like, I've been fucking robbed before. It's a traumatizing experience. What more can I say? Like, what do you mean? I'm not like, if you're talking about CVS, I don't give a shit. Okay? Yeah, I don't care about CVS. I don't care about Louis Vuitton. And I do get mad at people being like, oh my God, Louis Vuitton storefronts are broken down. But when you're talking about like individual acts of violence towards people, yeah, of course, that's completely unacceptable. Who's going to rob your big ass? Stop BSing. My friend, I was not always this big. I don't know if you know this, but, you know, I was a teenager once, living in Turkey, growing up in Turkey. Also, people have still guns, you know? Yeah, I've been 6'4" and 30 years old my entire life.
And in the last 48 hours, 5 new cases where criminals are targeting people in nice cars.
Like, the worst part about a robbery, for the record, the worst part about a robbery isn't like a super rich person, you know, having their watch stolen. Because no one who has a $150,000 watch that gets stolen is like, oh man, I was going to pay my rent with this watch, okay? No, the worst part is the trauma. The worst part about this kind of experience that you're subjected to is how paranoid you become, how traumatic of an experience this is. You literally face death in that circumstance. Everything you know about growing up in a civilized society falls apart in that 1 second, okay? Where someone comes in and does some shit that you would not have ever expected. And you're like, holy fuck. And the only reason why I know this is because I've experienced it a lot, okay? I experienced it in Turkey. Like, I know what this is like, okay? People act like another big motherfucker will hold a 45 or a knife to a big guy like you, and they will just ninja guy, and you will just ninja guide in their ass. I'm a big dude like you, I've been held up for a wallet too. Anyway. Anyway. That's the real issue with things like this. It's a super traumatic experience.
Or wearing expensive jewelry.
Outrageous display of arrogance on the part of these criminals that think that they can just run amok in our city and terrorize our citizens.
Most of the follow home robberies have been in the Hollywood division with 50, followed by the Wilshire division at 46, and in the Central division 40. But progress is being made by the task force of 18 detectives going after what they say are more than a dozen different gangs, decreasing the robberies by 78% in March compared to that peak in November. Just this past week, the task force made an arrest in this violent follow-home robbery that occurred in Los Angeles in October, where the robbers stole more than $600,000 worth of property.
This has been a major undertaking. However, I am confident that we are slowing this trend down.
The victim, the woman, suffered only minor injuries. The captain also says most of the suspects in these cases are not first-timers in the system, that they have extensive arrest records, that they have been released on bond under new policies.
Wow, robberies went down after holiday season, they say. Of course. It's just like it's robbing season during holiday season. It's just how it is. Am I wrong for thinking that detectives are slightly less evil than beat patrol cops? I mean, they are supposed to... The requirements to become a detective is, you know, a little bit higher than just like being a regular cop. But... it's the same people that become detectives inevitably. Not like they're plucking detectives out of a separate lineup. They're still fucking beat cops that turn into detectives. They are a little bit better, though. In my personal experience, they are a little bit... I mean, they're smarter. They are a little bit better. It depends. You know, because for the record, like, they have to be, okay? The detectives are arguably doing the one fucking job of the police force that, like, has to be done, no matter what you think about policing, no matter how deep of an anarchist you are, no matter how much of an anarchitty you are. Like, what detectives do is literally one function of the police force that is definitely, no matter what, 1,000,000% a necessity in any kind of fucking society, okay? They have to. There has to be. Doesn't matter if you're democratically organizing the police force from like, workers' councils or whatever the fuck, but you still have to have someone solve crimes that inevitably occur. No matter what happens. So you still got to have someone who's like, hey, a murder happened. We got to figure it out. Now, they might not be great at what they do, but, we're not abolishing the concept of investigations, I think. Okay? I don't know if that's how it's going to happen. Let me highlight it. Fuck that and fuck you. Okay? Based anti-detective take here. No. Crimes will be solved by, getting together and doing a kumbaya circle. Oh, this is a great example, actually. Detectives are smarter, and that can mean that them being better or worse in an incredibly more damaging way, like the LA crash unit. Exactly. That is actually a profound point. Training Day was directly built and designed off of a true story of the Los Angeles detective unit that straight up was just doing the shit that you saw in Training Day. That's real. That's a real story. Of the crash unit that this person's talking about in the chat. Straight up. Neighborhood watches do more? Yeah, like George Zimmerman. Come on, dude. Yeah, neighborhood watch is definitely better. Yeah. We should just have like completely untrained motherfuckers with guns running around and solving said crimes potentially. Anyway, we talked about this a bunch. Moore says Adams' early and repeated releases from custody endangered public safety, and that people who were repeatedly arrested for gun crimes should not be let out before trial. He also suggested that prosecutors played a part by not seeking certain charging enhancements to those brought against Adams that might have kept him in jail. Moore said he was a bit disappointed that the full weight of our existing laws was not brought down on Adams, not only to hold him accountable, but to provide a disincentive for other would-be robbers who might think such crimes are going unpunished in Los Angeles. The idea that like we're not punishing crimes is a silly one, especially considering that California still houses more incarcerated people than like entire countries. Okay, that's why I always say this argument that like we're fucking releasing criminals and allowing them to do crimes is silly as fuck. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how? Who's going to jail then? What do you think? Is the financial criminals that are still in jail? California prison system has been releasing people who shouldn't be. I think it's on purpose to gain political clout. I don't think so. I think that is a right-wing slant towards like towards a decent approach to try to let people out or on early release. And I don't think you understand what early release looks like. And I think that is the reason why you're saying that. Now, the reason why I say this is because the early release system is simply just for people who are on the tail end of their already incredibly long and horrifying prison sentence. It's not like, and they also have to straight up show that they are eligible for release. You're regurgitating propaganda in the chat, straight up. Like, if you think that people are just like, oh, you're a criminal and you've murdered 1 million people, like, okay, well, time to let you go, I guess. Oh, duh. And then they just, like, release you. Like, that's not how that works. You know what I mean? You have to have shown good behavior. You have to have demonstrated good behavior under, like, these horrifying conditions where the entire criminal justice system is, like, created to make you engage in bad behavior over and over again as a matter of survival. Okay? They should be more lenient on existing non-violent prisoners, but they should still have the standards for locking up new violent offenders. Yeah, of course. Like, if you do a crime, I'm not an advocate to, like, release you. That's fucking psychotic. Like, I'm not like, let's not have any crimes. Like, let's just let people go. Like, no, I think that's wrong. I don't think that's a weird take from me. Okay. I don't think you'll find a person that isn't like 14 that will have that take either, by the way. Anyway. The California prison system should be releasing way more people. They're excluding violent offenders, but no one in the U.S. actually gets charged through fair trials. It all happens in a coercive plea deal. Violent offender is just a fucking label. Yeah, and also, not only that, but violent offenders are not even focused. Like, no one even focuses on fucking rehabilitating said violent offenders anyway. Okay. I don't want to brag about early release in Canada. I work in a physical rehab unit, and we've received a patient from the prison that has mysterious left side hemiplegia, like unusable. He has 2 guards at his door in about a month of this. The government is actually like, oh, this costs too much. He can't commit crimes in the state. We can't care for him in the prison. So, like, let's do an early release. So. So let's, on that note, let's get to the Brooklyn shooter story, which is being round the clock covered by everyone at the moment. He has been apprehended at this point. You will, of course, be apprehended by the top of the hour ad break before we get to the story, unless you have already subscribed for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. That's right. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. And using that will allow you to no longer see the ad breaks at the top of the hour. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. All right.
This is when you see something, say something. Just don't just say it. Say it loud, pick up the phone, make the call it in. You never know. Err on the side that you really did see something important. Don't just go, well, who knows, maybe I was wrong. Let the police make that judgment call. The guy who picked up the phone and made that call and sent the cops to that McDonald's, and those cops who then drove around the block and found them just a block or 2 later, that's exactly old-fashioned police work. Cops got a tip.
Yeah, except the old-fashioned police work, maybe not so much. Here is the guy who fucking found the Brooklyn shooter.
Hi, how are you? What is your name?
I'm good. My name is Zach. I was working inside that store, and I was doing security cameras inside, and I see the guy, he walking from the screen. I see him from the cameras, so I thought, oh shit, this guy, let me call the police. And I call him and we catch him.
Zach, you are a hero. Thank you so much.
No problem.
We
try
thank
to make the people safe always, because the people.
Let me call the police. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. The life is nice,
Thank you, Zach.
All right, yeah. So if I'm correct here, end to end, from helping people on the train to getting folks out and treated to actually catching the guy, it was everyday people, transit and healthcare workers, and Zach who responded to this, while the $12 billion of the cops literally contributed nothing. Pretty much. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean that, like, we can just abolish the police in its entirety and have people like Zach and rely on people like Zach. I'm not saying that. That is clearly not true. You can't do that. Okay? But the point is, maybe we should focus on some of those finances should maybe go to, stopping crime before it happens in the form of, systemic solutions. Just a thought, just maybe try to tackle poverty a little bit. Tackle wealth inequality a little bit. I'm not talking about Minority Report precog shit. I'm talking, the ways in which crime happens. I hope he gets the 50 grand, by the way. That's fucking fire. Zach did a news presser. Respect. Let's see what he had to say. Zach Dahnan, the 21-year-old security camera installer who first spotted the suspected subway shooter in the East Village, is holding an impromptu press conference on First Avenue. He says news of the presser left him unable to sleep.
I was 2 days I don't sleep, and I see the guy, he walking sidewalk.
Oh, news of the shooter.
He killed the 7 people in Brooklyn. Like, I was 2 days I don't sleep, and I see that when I see the 7 people die, I cannot breathe. Like, I cannot sleep too. Like, I don't like the life. Like, I want to try to work, I cannot, because this guy, he put me in trouble. Like, when he see that 7 people killed, maybe the 7 people have kids, maybe have family, maybe something like that. Like, and I see him, he have bag in his bag, and he was walking the sidewalk, and he put the bag in the street like this, and I see the people.
Is he Turkish? No, he's some kind of Arabic, I think, because... What the fuck? Where's this video? Where's the video? Oh, this is the video. That's why it was like... Subtitles were struggling. Might be Lebanese, yeah.
Guys, please, the people was walking behind him. I told him, guys, keep far from him. Please, this guy is gonna do something. Like, this, people think I am crazy. Like, nobody tries to believe me. Like, I told him, guys, trust me, this is the guy. And I see the police walking from over there.
Police?
I thought the police, this is the guy. He did that problem in Brooklyn. This guy, catch him, guys, catch him. And he catch him. Thank God we catch him. Thank you very much. I cannot hear you. Of course, I see him here on the street. I told him, yo, this is the guy, he killed the people. This guy, he killed the people in Brooklyn. And you know, I want to make sure, because I don't want to put anybody in trouble. I see him, yo, this is the guy. Like, I can't believe that in my eyes, bro. Like, we need to tell the police. And we told the police, and the police catch him. And the police just told me, thank you, and he left. But you guys you don't have to tell me thank you, because I did my pleasure. We have to catch these people. If we don't catch these people, everybody is gonna die. Maybe this have between us now, somebody is gonna do something. We need to be careful from this thing. We need to be careful from this thing. We need to be careful from this thing.
I love him, dude. Police. He's so fucking he's just Arab as fuck, bro. Hard B's, holy shit.
I don't know.
So Talk is gonna make an episode with this guy in the worst possible way. Oh yeah.
Anything? Story of the news not letting the Brooklyn shooter take a break.
Anyway, look. It takes a village, all right? How much taxes will the poor guy have to pay on the 50K? Which is low as shit, by the way. Motherfucker will end up with enough for a Happy Meal. The East Village, to be specific. Invite him on the show. I don't know how I would get in contact with him, but if I could, I would. Okay. So yeah, the suspect is now in custody, thanks to the incredible work of just average New Yorkers that, you know, went about their daily lives immediately in the aftermath of this fucking horrific shooting. Luckily, the dude was dog shit at aiming.
Okay, there is literal crime happening. You need to come help. You need to call this in right now. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, all right. Chill out. I need to ask you a couple questions first before I intervene. Okay. There's an armed person. You should probably just fucking come. First question. Are they selling churros? No, they're not. They're armed. They're armed. Okay, I get that. Are they jumping the turnstile? Are they stealing a subway swipe? No, they're armed. Okay, I get that. You've said that. Are they a homeless person trying to sleep, though? No, they're committing crime. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, okay? Unless it's one of those things, that's not my fucking job. Have you seen that new Hulu show? Okay, there is
It's funny because like all your fans turning into you. What do you mean? It's funny because like a lot of New Yorkers, because of police visibility that is already, you know, very much an annoying fucking nuisance in their daily lives during their public transit, have a fuckload of jokes ready to fire off about the incompetence of the police force because they see it every fucking day. Like they see it. You see a bunch of fucking cops sitting around in metro stations, and subway stations, just you know, on their phones, not wearing masks, coughing in people's faces when there were mask mandates. Not really doing anything except beating the shit out of people who are avoiding fares. This is how it is. Playing Candy Crush. Yep. And demonstrably, like, thousands of cops have not worked. So I don't know what the fuck people are... I mean, I hate this cliche of the definition of madness is, you know, trying the same thing 1,000 times over and expecting different results. But, like, that's kind of what's going on here. You know? Like the NYPD, look, if the NYPD were an army, it would be one of the largest in the world. It has 11 offices in 11 foreign cities. It has 6 submarine drones. If it can't stop an attack in its own city's subway system, it's not because of a lack of funding, says the Gravel Institute with a brilliant take. Like, come on. Why are we just like, oh no, this is how we stop it actually? Like the way we stop crime. The way we stop crime is by giving every cop a fucking, you know, a man pad. That's how we do it. Stronger than Moldova? Oh, dude, not even a question. Are you kidding me? Stronger than Moldova? But is that a joke? It has to be, right? Yes. The NYPD would fucking smoke the Moldovan standing military. Well, maybe not, because they'd probably be fucking shooting their own nonstop. Friendly fire is an issue too. Beating the shit out of people that avoid fares is completely okay because public transport is almost socialism and you cannot allow that. That's true. Well, that's 2 different cops. Port Authority / subway cops. Can't expect regular cops to cross into the subways to do cop stuff for the city. What do you mean do cop stuff for the city? Cop stuff is what? It's still the same. Standing around not doing shit. Twiddling your fucking thumb. Violating traffic laws. Beating the shit out of homeless people. What the fuck do you mean, dude? And it wasn't even Port Authority cops at that station. It was NYPD. Right? So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I want to solve this. Okay? I want to solve this problem. You know, no one wants crime. Crime sucks.
Easy to prove, and perhaps even the longer sentences.
And it's not even about this specific instance of crime because, like, this seems like one of those, again, one-off, like, psycho dudes that is a way more complicated systemic issue to tackle than the regular crime that occurs as well.
We'll go through our legal process, that the intent was there. This was premeditated and pre-planned. Very difficult to make any other argument other than the intent to murder when you start shooting indiscriminately at close range in a subway car. And then in terms of his mental illness, I've heard this raised a few times. He might not be well in a lot of ways, and in a colloquial sense. But when you get into a courtroom and you have to prove whether this individual, this Frank James suspect, or, you know, I guess I'll hesitate to, you know, alleged shooter, right? But it seems pretty clear. This guy had an understanding of what he was doing as wrong. And you can't argue that he didn't know the difference from right and wrong. He left, he fled, he tried to evade arrest. He pretty clearly evidenced with his own behavior guilty intent, guilty knowledge, and the awareness.
I don't know, dude. Crime is down since the 90s and inequality is way up. I guess inequality solves crime, so let's do more of that. Yes, I do work for the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, inequality is not a bad word, actually. It's just the natural order of things, and we should reinforce that by, again, completely unnaturally existing in a capitalist organization of the economy that fosters individualism and selfishness rather than collectivism and sharing. This will certainly solve all of our problems. We just got to do it more.
You and to everyone who joined our live team coverage here. Again, the number one priority for police, they say, was to get this suspect off the street. And now the motive still under investigation. And the attention also turns to the safety of mass transit, not only in New York City, but across this country. That does it for us at this hour. I'm Kenneth Moat.
Okay. There's also this. Cops had a whole team 1 block where the shooter was eventually spotted, but it was too busy hassling homeless people. While yesterday's shooter is still at large, the NYPD Strategic Response Group, a counter-terror unit, is at Tompkins Square Park to enforce an encampment sweep. Fuck yeah, dude. I wonder if this is the same van that actually killed a homeless person 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, actually. See? They're doing cop stuff. This is what cop stuff are supposed to be doing. Like, there are a couple jobs where people are celebrated for their incompetence, but I feel like one of the grossest ones is policing, where they're just like, yeah, there's no other way, actually. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. You know, this is how we got to do it. It just doesn't matter. You know, we just got to give them more money. We got to celebrate them for not doing anything. And then when they actually do things, it's like terrible shit. On the 8 train, and 5 police just arrested a person sleeping on the bench. 1 cop banged on the pole next to him to wake up. Cops demanded that move. He was now just sitting there doing nothing. Still, they demanded he scoot over. Why? No idea. Made no sense. Confused. I mean, he was just rudely woken up. He pointed to 3 empty seats next to him. Now the police demanded he leave the subway car, which he left the subway car. They let him walk 10 yards and they handcuffed him. The subway car was horrified or confused. A person loudly asked, why would they arrest him? I know people are understandably on edge after yesterday, but harassing and arresting a person sleeping on a half-empty subway car to the horror of their passengers inside doesn't make anyone feel safer. It was cruel and unnecessary. I mean, cop shit. They were doing cop shit. Same libs who were putting BLM signs on their front lawns complain about homeless people and just don't see how things clash. NIMBYs. I mean, Democracy Now! Had an interview earlier this morning where the Democracy Now! By the way, shouts out to Amy Goodman. It's her birthday today, the Queen. Democracy Now! Was talking to New York Governor candidate Jumaane Williams on mass shootings and why more police won't actually solve the gun violence that people talk about. And in which he talked about, he basically covered like how much, like what Eric Adams is trying to do as mayor and how unproductive it is. Like, you know, clearing homeless camps is not productive, is not a productive way of solving homelessness. And the lack of funding specifically, even for New York City, let alone New York State, for affordable housing units being built. I think it's like $800 million or something. It's like a fraction of what is necessary, even for New York City. So it's just like there are solutions to the the problems that that criminalized poverty create. Except, you know, the way to go about it is by making sure that you don't criminalize poverty, you know, and instead deal with it like a systemic issue. Instead, we're just trying to sweep it away from the eyes of the wonderful tax-paying dollars. I just moved out of Portland. The homeless people problem is next level, and the events downtown from 2020 left a very lasting mark on the problem. I don't know, man. People get so mad about this issue, and like, I don't know. They yell at me for having some kind of, having a take on the matter rather than. Wait, hold on. How do I do it? Oh, okay. NYPD gang protects the rich. We need to find gangs that will steal from the rich. No, that's not how you do it either. Okay. It's tough because I want to be understanding for homeless people, but it's rough when you fear for your life. Every time I leave for work, the homeless problem is really fucking bad. It's hard to understand it until you experience it yourself. Dog, I live in Los Angeles. The fuck do you mean until you experience it for yourself? Every fucking apartment and house that I have lived in has quite literally had like an actual entire camp. There was literally a Molotov cocktail that exploded outside of my house twice. Not once, twice. What the fuck are you talking about? I do understand it. Okay, I get it. Trust me. Twice, bro, twice. Why did you look at tweet calling the gay man the F slur? Oh, it's friend of the show. What's his face? It was a friend of the show's tweet. He's a gay man. I didn't see that it was an F slur, so I unliked it immediately after I found out that it was an analogy for the F slur by putting a cigarette. That's why. Getting in trouble for liking edgy tweets by gay people now? I can't. Yeah, no, but no, it's appropriate. Like if I had like retweeted that or some shit, it's unacceptable, I think, because it's literally it's one gay man calling another gay man the F slur by putting a cigarette emoji, which I didn't see. As the resident bottom, I give you permission to use the F slur? No, that's too much. My entire feed is gay Twitter. I see the F slur every 5 minutes on Twitter. Yeah, of course. It was Ben Mora. I think is brilliant and hilarious, for the record. This was the tweet. Or was it Ben Mora? What the fuck is his... What is his Twitter? I don't remember. No, you don't get an F slur pass. Shut the fuck up, resident bottom. Yeah, that's not. I don't agree with that anyway. So shut the fuck up. Oh, here. This is the tweet. Yeah. I liked it originally. It said no one canceled you. Everyone just called you a smarmy, annoying cigarette. And I didn't see this. Like I didn't understand. I just thought everyone just called you smarmy and annoying is what I thought he said. So then I unliked it. Even though, you know, Ben is fucking hilarious. And I highly recommend that you guys follow him. That's kind of whack. I mean, again, stay out of gay people's business if you, if you have an opinion on that. No reason to unlike, in my opinion. No, I mean, I wouldn't call a gay man the F slur. So, why does the cigarette mean the F slur? The British word for it is the F slur. His podcast is great too, Seeking Derangements. Yeah, 100%. Full-throated support for Ben Mora, Ben_awareness. This is the famous Bernie Sanders. This is the famous Bernie Sanders guy that got fired for his secret Twitter account where he was fucking hilarious. Bro, why are we talking about unliked tweets? I don't know. Someone asked the question, so I'm giving an answer. Okay, now let's watch. Might actually have Alex Walker on this stream because it seems like he wants to. I fired my therapist and I'm ready to talk. Okay, so this guy apparently is running for he's a gay Democrat taking down Lauren Boebert. Okay, and it's the most annoying. It's just awesome. Let's just watch.
I love when people are like, "You have a moderate policy. You lost my vote." Oh, what vote was that? Was that the vote you were going to give to some Bernie wannabe whose overkill policies are unpopular with 75% of voters? Just so you.
Yeah, dude. Bernie, famously notorious for unpopular policies, just notorious.
Could feel good about yourself until they lose the general election, at which point you'll point your finger and blame someone else? That vote? Oh, honey, your vote got lost a long time ago. Democrats need to wake up. Jesus, in order to legislate, we have to win. Go to walkerforcolorado.com and stop complaining. Woo!
He's awful. He's awful in the best way possible, okay? He is so awful in literally the best ways, okay? So, this is you, though, just a lot gayer riffing on Democrats. No, but I wouldn't riff on people who are going to potentially vote Democrat or not because they, they have, like, moral convictions, you know what I mean? And they want to see their politicians actually represent said values. Yeah, I mean, someone said he's, like, doing a Christian Walker, Pete Buttigieg merger, and I love that. I think that's pretty valid. So this kind of went viral. He's the same as awful as that dude that made the Cuomo song. Oh, the Rainbow, what was it? Rainbow Randy Rainbow. I mean, it's brilliant because he's literally telling you like, oh, in Colorado, a state that like Bernie won, okay, you're a fucking idiot for even wanting good things, you stupid idiot. You stupid fucking dumbass. Why would you want things? I'm running for Congress. Vote for me now. I'm a Democrat. Just vote for me, you fucking idiot. Wanting things is stupid. You fool. So people actually looked at his like can you guess how popular Bernie Sanders' policies are? What percentage of Americans support making marijuana use legal? I don't know. 90. Not quite. 66%. Takeaway. Americans are agreed with Sanders on this one. Medicare for all. Oh, this is going to be faulty. That's bullshit. That's actually bullshit. Fucking classic 538, dude. No, don't be a fucking idiot, chatters. No, they did that thing. They did that. Wait, what? They did that fucking thing where they added where they took literally the worst polls possible for it, okay? Suck my dick. Suck my fucking dick, dude. 1,000,000%. Oh, yeah, this is We're not in any way, shape, or form advocating for neoliberalism by using the worst possible polling for Medicare for all. It's 70%. I'm willing to bet it's like they took the absolute worst poll they possibly could. (2020) lean Democrat, lean, what? Majority of Democrats favor single national government program to provide healthcare coverage. It has swung. 60% of people are stupid enough to believe that 538 isn't bullshit. It doesn't matter because obviously, like, unpopular still doesn't mean it's bad. It's still incredibly popular. Regardless. The point that is frustrating about it is that they not only say that it's bad, it's a bad policy, but then they also say that it is actually unpopular when it's not unpopular. Where is the total? Across the board increase in share, Democrats favor single government program to provide health insurance. What is this? 44 to 54. Total random sample of rural voters in Arkansas by Rasmussen. About 7 in 10 voters favor a public health insurance option. Medicare for all remains polarizing. 55% of voters support Medicare for all, while 32%, including 62% of Republicans, oppose the single-payer plan. 68% of voters support a public health insurance option, including 80% of Democrats. We're not going to get any of that anyway. It doesn't matter. A poll is a poll. What do you mean by worst poll? Well, obviously, the way you ask certain questions will guide and get you certain outcomes. Polls are also heavily biased by the kinds of information that you're getting from every fucking media outlet. Saying that, like, all polls are created equal makes it seem as though Rasmussen, for example, does not exist. First sentence in the last article. 55% of voters support Medicare for all, while 32, including 62% of Republicans, oppose the single-payer plan. 68% of voters support a public health insurance option, including 80% of Democrats and 56% of Republicans. Rasmussen, not Rasputin. The one that I was just on. Oh, this one? A majority of Americans continue to say the federal government has a responsibility to make sure all Americans have health care coverage. And since last year, there's been an increase, especially among Democrats, in the share saying health insurance should be provided by a single national program run by the government. Yeah. Among the public overall, 63% of U.S. adults say the government has the responsibility to provide health care coverage for all, up slightly from 59% last year. There it is. What percentage of registered voters provide free tuition in colleges and state universities? I don't fucking know. Probably like 40. Oh, I was wrong. 58% of Americans support free college. What percentage of residents? 2% wealth tax on individuals' worth. I'm fucking spitballing here, okay? And the reason why I'm spitballing is because depending on what fucking poll you look at, you can get incredibly different results. So it doesn't matter. To give you an accurate assessment, no, Fox News actually has decent polling. Fox News and the news division is like respected, for the record. Fox has good polling. Don't say Fox News poll omegalol. It's true. The Hill Harris X poll says 69% of registered voters wanted Medicare for all. All the exit polling, which is not the most consistent, also showed nearly 80% in the Democratic primaries in places that went to Bernie Sanders. Nearly 80% of the voters in the exit poll showed that they wanted Medicare for all. So, okay. Anyway, regardless, we've been completely fucking sidetracked. Like, if you are a leader, your goal shouldn't be elected for the purpose of being elected. Your goal should be to help your constituents. And a part of being a leader and trying to help your constituents revolves around adequately explaining to people why certain policies would benefit them. Okay? Democrats, for some weird reason, have completely dropped this idea. They've completely dropped this concept from what it means to win elections. They want to win elections for the sake of winning elections and run defense against the big bad Republicans. And they are big bad. But someone openly fucking saying this is mind-boggling. Like, why? You're not even lying at this point. You're not even lying to say, like, oh man, I really care about you.
Yesterday, I got canceled for making the outrageous
And also, he didn't get canceled. People were just clowning on him.
claim that ultra-progressive candidates can't win in blood-red districts like mine, and that if you vote for one, you're throwing your vote away. Yeah. Every vote matters, but don't throw yours away on some ultra-liberal pipe dream who has no shot just to make yourself feel warm and fuzzy at night. In order,
like, that's not why people vote, man. What the fuck? Maybe because your own personal, like, I don't know, needs are taken care of, that you advocate for this, but it's fucking crazy to say, like, ultra liberal and people are voting for their fifis. Like, the fuck? No, people are voting for politicians that say they're going to do things, like good things for them, because that's what politics is about. That's what politics is supposed to be about. Dude, I get it, dude. I get it. Fucking calm down, okay? I know. I saw the person that is running against Sol Sandoval, okay? She's running against him. We're going to look into it, okay? We're going to look at her policies as well. Please stop freaking the fuck out for like 3 seconds while I dunk on the person's fucking competition, okay? Holy fuck. Dude, you're literally like frothing out of the fucking mouth. Like, you're like, dude, please stop. Don't give this guy any attention. If you give this attention, please bring on. Oh, God. Stop. I see you, man. I see you. Fucking Christ. It's on the hunt. I fired my therapist and I'm ready to talk, says Alex Walker. Okay, let's hear what else.
In order to legislate, Democrats must win. And in order to win, we need to nominate candidates who represent the district and play smart with common sense policies that can win.
Anyway, yeah, in order for Democrats to legislate, they must win. Okay, but then what are you going to legislate? Kristen Sinema won. You know, Joe Manchin won. You want to be like them. And that's so fucking wild to me. And not only that, but it's also literally not enough, okay? We are hemorrhaging voters. People do not trust the Democratic Party. They don't trust the Republican Party either, but at least the Republican Party is doing everything they can to fucking unite this like weird coalition of people that are going to vote. How? By pushing for anything, okay? By pushing for differences in policy and not simply waiting for Democrats to do something so they can fucking react to it, even though they are reactionary. And that is what they're supposed to normally do. But in the absence of any sort of like progressive legislation being passed or advanced or even talked about, Republicans find new ways to create divisions. And that's how you arrive at the anti-LGBT legislation that's being passed through state legislatures. That's how you arrive at new methods of trying to stop black people and poor people in general from voting. That's how you arrive at all of that, because they want to actually fucking win. It's wild to hear someone just openly fucking mention, you know, we're not going to do anything. You're going to suck it the fuck up and you're going to vote for me because you need to, you know, you're going to need to fucking straight up suck it the fuck up and vote. Because otherwise, yeah, Colorado really hates Bernie's policies. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's ridiculous to say this. Just due to the confidence of a white woman. Okay, let's
Not some platform designed to placate your overwoke Twitter temper tantrum pipe dreams. And we need someone strong enough to stand up to the bullshit, including Lauren Boebert's bullshit, but also including the bullshit in our own party trying to tear down Democrats with a...
Dude, how are you going to fucking talk about Lauren Boebert and then compare Lauren Boebert to, like, actually progressive legislators?
Shot. TLDR, I'm not sorry, and I've got my eye on the only prize that matters, winning.
I mean, dude, it's ridiculous. He is like he is every stereotype that we fucking complain about with respect to Democrats. Sad stuff. The Progressive Caucus is a sad joke. They don't stick to any principles. They cower to the establishment every time. Half of them are conservatives, and now they endorse a corrupt establishment candidate over one of the top progressives in the country. Total fucking joke. The U.S. progressives are endorsing Chantal Brown's re-election. Oh, Jesus. Chantal Brown officially joined the Progressive Caucus in January. I mean, like I said, he's like, he is a typical fucking... is a typical fucking Democratic consultant guy. Just openly showing the disdain that he has for voters by telling him, like, get fucked, peasant. Like, you're going to vote for me or else you're going to have more Lauren Boeberts. Yeah, there's a lanyard in his soul. Exactly. And he openly mentions it too. He's like, all I care about is winning. And then when he says, like, in order to pass legislation, you have to win. Okay, but then what kind of legislation are you going to pass once you win? If you have no takes on the matter, if you're not going to tell us what you're, or if you're, you know, showcasing your disdain for like any sort of progressive legislation, then, you know, expecting people to vote for you for no reason, it's fucking insane. Yeah, his economic policy leans right. The right supports low taxes to promote consumer spending, which in theory creates a healthy economy. This is called supply-side economics. The left supports higher taxes to fund public services that expand federal protections and reach. I agree with supply-side economics. People should spend their money as they see fit. This means lower taxes. Look, the government can barely get out of bed in the morning. One day, maybe it can use $5 trillion in taxes effectively. That day is not today. Families struggle while the government bickers over bourbon and smoky rooms. I built my career defending and growing local economies. I can help untangle this economic mess. But then he's talking about corporations pay just 7% of federal tax revenue. And he wants to tax the rich? It's just like, I feel like he went and picked the least favorable position he could. Like, there's also active disdain towards the wealthy, and instead of capitalizing on that, he's just like, "No, you're wrong, you fool." I love that being a progressive nowadays is just not doing hate crimes and saying rich people should pay taxes. What the fuck is this country? Not even rich people. No. Remember, he is not even in favor of rich people paying taxes. He just wants corporations to pay taxes. That's it. He's just a socially liberal Republican. I mean, there's a lot of people like this in the Democratic Party. I think he's just the most honest Democrat possible. And I think he's going to fucking lose, most likely. I think this is just a way to launch a career as like an MSNBC commentator, because Democrats, and especially the Democratic media conglomerate, absolutely loves pathetic fucking losers. They do. Oh, and the closer they are to being a Republican, the better it is. Oh, God, please. It's incredible. Please give me more of this. He's just a cardboard cutout of every... He is a Democratic policy machine materialized into a human being. And ultimately, he's going to become an MSNBC commentator, most likely. Going for the Ivy League Dems who make up the media class and despise Bernie bros, but like it doesn't. He's not going for actually winning this election, is what I'm saying. So let's see Saul Sandoval, Chicana Latina social worker turned organizer in Colorado 3, that's also working towards taking down Lauren Boebert in the district.
Families are struggling to make ends meet. Businesses are closing. And when we needed Lauren Boebert the most, she didn't even bother to show up. I'm running for Congress because our schools are underfunded. We can't afford to get sick. And we're living to work instead of working to live. But I can't do this alone. I need your help. Chip in what you can. And together, we will.
My brother, calm down. Your job is not entertaining people by getting angry. Don't fall prey to all these weirdos trying to ramp you up. Much love. Wait, what? I'll look at her platform and you know, give you a better assessment. But I mean, look, these are Lauren Boebert's district is already like Lauren Boebert's district is +6, isn't it? Alex Walker's ads are better, just saying. Why are you just boosting Saul Sandoval? Alex Walker is right there. Take a week off for that joke alone.
Oh, shit!
It's an incredible ad. I gotta pee. I'll be back.
We are real Coloradans. We deserve a living wage, small government that actually works, and freedom of choice. Instead, we have bullshit. Don't you ever wonder where it's all coming from? Colorado needs a bull, not a bullshitter. I'm Alex Walker, and I approve the shit out of this message.
Incredible. Incredible stuff overall. I mean, brilliant. Brilliant. Dude, this is it's like there's clearly money to be made in this situation. You're running against a high profile congressperson, high profile for all the worst reasons, and you're doing it in this way. We've seen big campaigns like this fucking blow up over and over again after, you know, raising a fuckload of money. And I don't know, it seems like this is not all that different. I like the idea of political ads being a little crass, but this is nasty. Jamie Harrison, Amy McGrath. A race for CD3 Titans. We asked candidates about their policy positions. If elected, will you bring funds to Colorado's third congressional district? How will you bring funds? Chris says, okay, don't care. Sandoval says, I'll start off by voting for legislation like the COVID-19 relief package and the infrastructure bill that will bring real and needed federal investments into CD3. We have so many needs that could be met that aren't, including roads, bridges, water, and conservation projects. I will join other members in Colorado delegation to ask for members designated projects in CD3. That's your job as a representative. That's pretty good. Great representative has experience at the negotiating table or experience creating national attention for local issues. I have both. I spent 10 years building a successful career in business, and my already national campaign is proof that I can fight big for the folks at CD3. So yeah, he's going to be, annoying. Like Boebert. I won't request earmarks because they are a tool for Nancy Pelosi and Democrats to buy votes. However, I've been very successful through the appropriation process. The Democrats deserve, not Democrats, sorry. Republicans do kind of deserve all the shit like they live through. The unfortunate reality is how do you vote for this person, dude? Like the answer is just you could have had every option to just be normal and you chose crazy mode, okay? I won't request earmarks because it's a tool for Nancy Pelosi and the devil. However, I've been very successful through the appropriation process because the appropriation process is the right way to deliver congressional conservative solutions for the district as a representative. As the representative for Colorado's 3rd Congressional District, I advocated for rural Colorado to the Appropriations Committee and was able to secure 9 appropriations requests signed into law that will support our district. We need more members of Congress to follow the appropriations process. That's why I voted against Pelosi's $1.5 trillion, 2,700 plus omnibus spending bill and introduced a balanced budget amendment. Dude, that's awesome. It's like, how will you bring more money to Congress? And she then goes on a fucking tangent about how the way that currently the way that budgeting works is actually abused by Democrats, Nancy Pelosi. That's why when there was money for the district to be earmarked, I decided fuck you, and instead wanted to balance the budget. Respect. Only a select number of bills introduced each session are ever enacted law. What strategies would you pursue? End of all, start with my priorities, which are education, healthcare, more opportunities for working Coloradans. My strategy would be to work not against other members of the Colorado delegation to get things done. We can increase the use of telemedicine to make healthcare more available to rural communities. I like Senator Bennett's Medicare X proposal to create a public option by expanding Medicare eligibility to underserved areas. Love that. One thing I won't do is copy Lauren Boebert, who has yet to pass a single bill, even out of committee. If you want to get things done, you need to learn about how government works while asserting yourself as a leader. I would sponsor and co-sponsor bills across the aisle based on my values and the voice of the people in our local communities who elected me. Bro, I was Kane guy. Oh, you saw the VOD of the Jubilee video, Boomer Croomer 420 from yesterday? I don't know which one the Kane guy is. He's just like giving politician-ass answers, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's just like straight, pure politician answers. Dude was a tech bro and has media training that money paid for. Oh, the guy that questioned Elon being self-made? Nice. Back. As a member of the minority, I speak up as loudly as I can to make sure bad bills and bad policies are exposed. Let's go, dude. Okay, I can't. What's your top economic priority? Sandoval, workforce development and opportunity. Too many people in this district are struggling financially. We need to create more job opportunities through apprenticeships, trade schools, and job training for people who are already working and looking for better paying jobs through more skills by investing in the workforce development, apprenticeship training, and growing industries like healthcare, technology, and renewable energy. We can open the door to career advancement. Walker says, saving and rebuilding CD3's economy. I built my community growing small businesses and local economies. Together, we can turn CD3 into a clean job superpower that boosts your family's pay 25% in 3 years while lowering income taxes for families making less than 100K. We'll make up the difference with fair corporate taxes for once. My priorities is to restore proven principles of the America First agenda. That starts with putting American workers first, getting the government out of the business of choosing winners and losers, reducing dependency, and sticking up for ourselves around the world. Yeah, we're going to stick up for Colorado District 3 around the world. For far too long, Colorado District 3 has been getting fucked over by North Korea, by all of our enemies, both domestic and foreign. We prove this approach elevates all of our citizens economically, keeps pace around the world, and allows us to prosper in an environment where jobs are plentiful, inflation is low. Just nothing. Jusha for Colorado. Yeah, exactly. We will be doing Jusha-style politics of self-reliance in Colorado District 3. Okay, I'm bored. I can't read the rest of this. It's just like killing me. Oh, cringe. Okay. Yeah, this guy, I'll look more into every candidate, but you know, this guy is awesome. Much respect to Alex Walker. Speaking of much respect, we're going to talk about Dr. Jimothy Concepts now, Conceptual James, okay? And how unhinged he's become. Like, how unhinged he's become. But what is also equally unhinged is forgetting to run the top of the hour ad break, which I will be running right now. At the top of the hour, every hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5. You can do that for free with a Twitch Prime. As long as you have an Amazon Prime account connected to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Here is the 1-minute ad break now.
So you might be wondering why critical social justice activists always use the word folks to describe people. Brown folks, black folks, white folks, queer folks. Well, my name is James Lindsey. I'm from newdiscourses.com, and I'm writing an encyclopedia called Translations from the Wokish there on the website, and I'm going to break it down for you. There are a lot of reasons that they use the word folks. It depends on where you're looking. The queer theorists, for example, use the word folks so they can have a gender-neutral alternative to hey guys or ladies and gentlemen, something like that.
Okay, true. Where will he go with this? Okay, maybe. I mean, folks is gender neutral. Let's see.
But there's a deeper reason as well, and you see that especially in critical race theory. Critical race theory looks back to a black scholar from the very early 20th century, late 19th century, named W.E.B. Du Bois. And Du Bois went to Germany, and he studied there with Gustav von Schmoller, who was a scholar particularly of another German philosopher called Herder, who was a great nationalist and believed in folk national identities.
What?
So when they say brown folks, black folks,
he's saying folks is actually folkish. Like he's saying, you know, folks like Nazis. Actually, that's where it comes from. Yeah, that's right, folks. Yeah, when I say folks, howdy partner, I'm actually being I'm saying it because, you know, I'm thinking about how the folk, you know, folk like in Nazi Germany. That's awesome. Dude, this guy needs more money. I love that.
White folks, what they're trying to do is put those groups into a kind of a nationalistic type identity that's rooted in their race.
Wait, I don't understand. Don't you think that that's like, who is closely aligned with Nazi ideals? Famous black scholar W.E. Du Bois or fucking Conceptual James, who literally works for Republican think tanks and does fascist agitprop regularly. Wow. Is he saying that like his name is straight up Du Bois?
So we're talking about race nation thinking at the level of folks.
Du Bois. Okay, sorry, shut up.
Then it just kind of meshes into that whole, let's have a gender neutral version. So it's really the same kind of thinking that led to, you know, the folkish with the V in German thought of Germany leading especially up to the 1930s and the disaster going forward from there. What was it there? Ein Volk, ein Reich.
Also, it is Dubois, technically. I mean, that's how you would normally read it, right? Am I wrong? Like, in America, you read it as Du Bois, but this is yet another instance where you guys are yelling at me for me being right and you being wrong. I mean, gave up the French pronunciation to emphasize his blackness. Wrong, he gave up the French pronunciation. I didn't. I'm wrong, like in the sense that, like he didn't use it that way, but not wrong to assume that it would be Dubois, because it's literally that's how French last name. And that's how you're supposed to read it. Anyway.
Ein Führer, right? That same folk. Exactly the same folk with the exact same lineage. WEB.
How the fuck did we get caught up in this? Okay, Du Bois. How the fuck did we get caught up in this while there's a man on your screen, Conceptual James, literally saying that a famous black communist scholar, author, was actually influenced by communism, or influenced by Nazism, okay? And that also that somehow it relates back to saying folks. Is this even etymologically accurate? No, dude. What? No, of course not. What? Unless you think like all of the entirety of German language is just built after Nazi Germany or something. And like German language did not exist before Nazi Germany. Folk just means folks. Means people. This is a complete psychotic. I mean, this is like the ramblings of a madman.
What was it there? Ein Volk,
Mobius, thank you for the 10 gift subs.
Führer, right? That same folk. Exactly the same folk with the exact same lineage.
Dog, he's just describing how the German language works right now. It's awesome, though, because, like, you know, we're winning elections. We're winning elections by saying, actually, it's the woke people that were Nazis. That's how we're going to win now. That's how we're going to win, by fucking saying, actually, it's the woke people that are the real Nazis, to a group of people who are literally like, no, we like Nazi stuff. What the fuck?
W.E.B. Du Bois brought it to the United States, and The Souls of Black Folks was the name of the big book that he wrote, I think, in 1903. Now, critical race theory. Everybody says we can't define it. Well, my name is James Lindsey, and I've been studying.
Okay, the woke level insists it's just a benign gender neutral way of saying, you guys, the truth is it's a plot to foment Hitlerian racial nationalism going all the way back to W.E.B. Du Bois. Conceptual Jimbo on critical race theory. You might think CRT is just a body of scholarship investigating racist social systems and institutions, but actually it's a scheme developed by that Jew at the Frankfurt School to use black people as puppets for global communism. He literally goes on from saying that like the woke left are the real Nazis to just repeating Nazi propaganda, which is awesome. Okay?
So what is critical race theory?
Like, this is Nazi propaganda. The Frankfurt School was like, you know, creating these sorts of woke attitudes to destroy Western civilization, which is superior inherently, is 1,000,000% Nazi propaganda.
He says we can't define it. Well, my name is James Lindsey, and I've been studying this stuff for a while, and I'm making an encyclopedia on my website called newdiscourses.com. The encyclopedia is called Translations from the Wokish, and I can tell you what critical race theory is. They say we can't define it, but let's break it down. Let's define it. Critical race theory is a movement in scholarship, activism, and especially law and getting into education and other fields that's designed to reconsider the relationship between race, racism, and power. To be more frank about it, it is the belief that the fundamental organizing principle of society is racism, and that this racism was created by white people specifically to oppress people of other races, and that they maintain that racism so that they can maintain their own advantage in society. That's what critical race theory is all about. We could also say that it's a neo-Marxist strategy to make use of racial minorities to try to make way for a cultural revolution in America, just like Herbert Marcuse.
Wait, I don't understand. Like, wait. Before we get into that part, like he's saying what? Like critical race theory is
frank about it. It is the belief that the fundamental organizing principle of society is racism, and that this racism was created by white people specifically to oppress people of other races.
I mean, he's right. That's right. He's spitting. Why is he spitting so hard? I don't understand why. Like, are we supposed to infer that what he is saying is actually bad because he's saying it in an angry tone? Is that what it is?
And that they maintain that racism so that they can maintain their own advantage in society.
I mean, it's not wrong. He's not telling us why that's incorrect. I don't get it. I mean, the organizing principle is still around capital, and obviously racism has been used, or white supremacy specifically has been used as a vehicle to generate more of that while creating a permanent underclass that also you can use as a divider between the white working class and you know, black or brown working class that causes the indentured servants to let go of their own personal subjugation, so they specifically look down at another group of individuals. You know, there's a multitude of different ways that you can take advantage of this, okay? But yeah, it's the concept of race and what you do with race and the racial differences, the racial disparities, absolutely was created as a political tool to justify slavery. Because if you were to realize that, like, these are human beings and not just property or not just animals in the way that these racist people, these white supremacist people advocated for them to be seen, you would be like, what the fuck? We need to immediately abolish this shit. This is psychotic. But yeah, that's where it comes from. And that purity politics also comes from, like, whiteness as a concept also comes from that, because it's about your whiteness is your proximity to blackness. Okay, your whiteness is a political tool crafted specifically to enforce or reinforce your dominance. Only by how far away you are from being black, i.e., the one drop rule.
That's what critical race theory is all about. We could also say that it's a neo-Marxist strategy to make use of racial minorities to try to make way for a cultural revolution in America, just like Herbert Marcuse wrote in 1969 in his so-called Essay on Liberation. So that's another thing that critical race theory actually is. It is the attempt to use race to break open America for a communist-style revolution based now in equity rather than in pure communism.
I love this idea, though, because it's like, this is, you know, without any sort of organizational tools, without any sort of labor militancy, or even unions in general, like, how the fuck would that ever happen? Like, his attitude, unironically, I think this person has read too many books. Okay, I've said this about Conceptual James before. He strikes me as the kind of guy who unfortunately did too much reading. And what I mean by that is, like, he literally sounds like an ANCOM fucking endlessly posturing and fantasizing about, like, a post-revolutionary communist society and how you would become a poetry writer in that situation. You know what I mean? He's, like, so brain broken that he thinks that, like, this is even remotely, that we are even remotely capable, like, that there are material conditions that are ripe for such revolutionary activity. You know what I mean? Guy saying liberal party wants a communist revolution. Yeah, I mean, he's not as palatable to normal people. Yeah, exactly. Because of how much he's read and how fucking annoying and brain broken he is, by the way, he is not going to be able to, you know, get this across to anyone, get his message across to anyone. The real guy you got to worry about is, like, Chris Rufo. That motherfucker is a demon, okay? This guy, too much of just a fucking brain-broken debate lord. I mean, the material conditions are there. The organization and solidarity isn't. No. Also, the material conditions are not there, especially in America. They might be in the future, but I fear that they will push us further towards fascism than anything else. How the fuck are you going to say the material conditions are there when, like, you know, if there's food insecurity, but most Americans still can eat food? Material conditions are not there. America, as the primary consumer force of the planet, will do everything in its fucking power to ensure that the material conditions never get there.
So critical race theory is pretty easy to understand.
How many Americans live in a food desert, Lamau? That doesn't matter. Food desert doesn't imply that there is no food to be had. Food desert implies that the type of food that Americans are having are killing them slowly, but they still have food. Oftentimes delicious garbage food. It's just shitty food. It's worse. It's more nefarious in many ways. It like kills you slowly, but you still fill your belly up with garbage. A lot of people live in food deserts and they're killing people literally. Okay, guys, there's still a difference between being able to purchase bread and there's still a difference between, like, at least having some kind of poison, even if it's fucking poisonous, to fill your belly and not really even think about it. Not really even, you know, consider it. Whereas what I'm talking about is, like, price stability has often been the primary goal of the American supply side. The American supply side understanders have always advocated for price control in the form of, well, not price control necessarily, but to ensure that prices are always maintained at a certain level. That's why over the course of the many, many years that you have been alive, I have been alive, we haven't really had, like, our food supply has gotten worse and worse overall. Actually, healthy foods have gotten more and more expensive. However, food across the board, even if it's not nutritious, is still readily available and relatively cheap. Okay? Because Americans understand, and this is the same principle that has caused us to basically fucking create the worst kind of monopolies or the worst kind of oligopolies as well, is that as long as consumers eat cheap, subsidized, low-cost goods, as long as there's a plentiful access to cheap commodities, then you can monopolize as much as you want. It doesn't matter. There's not enough people starving for there to be ripe. James seems like he's read a lot because he uses words unfamiliar to you, but in reality, he actually hasn't read shit. He has no idea what he's talking about. He constantly misunderstands book like Dialectic of Enlightenment, One-Dimensional Man, and other complex continental philosophy because he's a math PhD and not a philosopher. We have destroyed the rest of the planet to ensure that, and destroy our planet every day to ensure that every American can fucking get fat. Okay? Even if you live in a food desert, that's different than starvation. Guys, export inflation via the dollar being the world's currency. Anyway, we got into like a completely irrelevant conversation here. Let's get back to conceptual James.
Based now in equity rather than in pure communism. So critical race theory is pretty easy. Wait, what? Actually is. It is the Marxist strategy to make use of racial minorities to try to make way for a cultural revolution in America, just like Herbert Marcuse wrote in 1969 in his so-called Essay on Liberation. So that's another thing that critical race theory actually is. It is the attempt to use race to break open America for a communist-style revolution based now in equity rather than in pure communism. So critical race theory is pretty easy to understand. It's a belief system that believes that the ordinary state of affairs in our society is racism, that racism hides itself rather than gets better, it has permanence to it, and it takes somebody called...
I mean, it's true. Like, everything he's just saying about critical race theory is literally true. And then he turned around and he's like, it's actually wrong because some, Jewish professor came up with it. That's a little sussy, man. How am I supposed to understand that this is a bad thing? Other than the fact that the only thing that you associated it with was, again, some professor came up with it.
Called a critical race theorist to be able to find that racism, call it out, and hopefully bring us to a place where we can overthrow the entire system. It throws out the idea of step-by-step progress or incrementalism. It wants to overhaul the entire system in a social and cultural revolution that it's going to lead to bring us to a post-racial utopia that it hopes for. That's what critical race theory actually is. Another way to put that is it's maybe the best parts of communism and the best parts of racism, two terrible, terrible ideas mixed together to break America. If you want to learn more about...
Dude, why is he frothing? Like, he's been saying this for over a year now. He says it all the time. He frequently claims we live in Herbert Marcuse's world. James Lindsey's wholesale adoption of the Frankfurt School conspiracy theory, as well as his complete misreadings of Marcuse, which was then taken up by Rufo, have been instrumental in rekindling the embers of this conspiracy theory. The narrative being pushed is dangerously accurate in many details, as the Frankfurt School really did want to end Western civilization and is almost wholly comprised of Jews. This allows anti-Semites to recruit new anti-Semites who wouldn't have otherwise been recruited. I mean, that's... So, let me just describe something to you guys. I've talked often, way back in the day when Jordan B. Peterson used to pop off about cultural Marxism and how so many Republicans regularly talk about cultural Marxism. Well, that cultural Marxism concept was, much like the rest of reactionary agitprop, an old school propaganda that Nazis also used. They called it cultural Bolshevism. Okay? It's the same shit. They just literally hid the Judeo-Bolshevism or cultural Bolshevism fucking word and said, oh, it's just cultural Marxism. It's just a new coat of paint. But when you immediately go back to the Frankfurt School and their interest in ending Western civilization, you are literally saying the exact same thing that the Nazis said. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. Interpretation of the Frankfurt School as a conspiracy theory claims that an elite of Marxist theorists and Frankfurt School intellectuals are subverting Western society. While parts of the conspiracy theory make reference to actual thinkers and ideas selected from Western Marxist tradition, they severely misrepresent the subject and give an exaggerated interpretation of the effective influence. In reality, a group of German Marxist scholars, the majority of whom were Jewish, founded the Institute for Social Research in Frankfurt in 1923, which came to be known as the Frankfurt School. In their research, they sought to explain the failure of the German Revolution of 1918 and 1919, why capitalism remained the economic system in Germany, and eventually why German workers turned to Nazism instead. After 1933, the majority of the Frankfurt School intellectuals relocated to the United States, where their theories had a limited impact on left-wing circles. While the influence of the Frankfurt School in critical theory are generally viewed by most political scientists to have had a considerable range within academia, they were directly in opposition to the theories promoted by postmodern philosophers who are frequently identified by proponents of the conspiracy theory as leading examples of cultural Marxism. In addition, none of its members were in any kind of international conspiracy to destroy Western civilization. Because when you want to destroy Western civilization, why the fuck would you move to America? Well, I guess that's why I moved to America, to destroy Western civilization from within. What a lot of these people fail to, when they promote these conspiracies like these Jews wanted to destroy Western civilization, when they say stuff like that, they fail to recognize that a lot of those dudes loved Western civilization. Like me. I love Western civilization. I live in America, motherfucker. Why? I didn't have to live here. I chose to live here. Okay? There's a lot of promise here. There's a lot of good that could be done. Okay? Advocating to do such things does not mean you want to destroy Western civilization. Anyway. Marcuse more or less openly advocates for using black ghetto population to achieve his goals through a white leftist student intelligentsia that doesn't share its values, justice, resentment. Read that again. Using them to break society for people like himself, CRT. In the black ghetto population, Marcuse sees an opportunity for educated white middle-class leftist malcontents to tear apart society and make way for socialism, reimagined as liberationism, and just presumes that such actions are good for black people who resent things. Imagine looking at this and then not realizing that, there's an understandable anger within a population of people who at the time were literally in even more dire conditions that they were subjected to, straight up. And that like there is an understandable energy that you can capture for emancipation. For the record, in people who were relegated to ghettos, not specifically black people. But when we talk about America, it is usually that's what comes to mind. Great stuff. Like, ultimately, they personally think, for some weird reason, like these fucking weirdos, they personally think that like there is no reason why people could genuinely hold these perspectives. Like emancipation is completely beyond conceptual James's conceptualization skills. Okay, he cannot see a world in which like people could genuinely want for others to also have a taste of that same liberation that they take for granted. You know? Just that's not a thing. It can't happen. It has to be for some other nefarious purpose, and that nefarious purpose has to be the destruction of Western civilization. Why? Why? Why would that have to be the case? Bill Lynn calls it cultural Marxism or political correctness. Steve Hilton calls it wokeism. Both repeat the same talking points. Marxists had to explain why there wasn't a proletarian revolution after World War I. They settled on the idea of Western culture had to be destroyed. I'm assuming some familiarity with the conspiracy theory if you're completely new to this. Anyway. Direct quotes from Mein Kampf, scapegoating cultural Bolsheviks, taking from the 3 Arrow videos on it. Oh yeah, hold on. The doctrine of Marxism repudiates the aristocratic principle of nature and substitutes it for the eternal privilege of force and energy. Remember, the naturally occurring phenomena of hierarchies can be experienced even within lobster populations. And cultural Marxists want to take away such naturally occurring phenomena. Well, it's deeply unnatural. For the eternal privilege of force and energy, numerical mass, and its dead weight. Thus, it denies the individual worth of the human personality, impugns the teaching that nationhood and race have a primary significance, and by doing this, it takes away the very foundations of human existence and human civilization. If the Marxist teaching were to be accepted as the foundation of life of the universe, it would lead to the disappearance of all order that is conceivable to the humankind. And thus the adoption of such a law would provoke chaos in the structure of the greatest organism that we know, with the result that the inhabitants of this earthly planet would finally disappear. The order in this conversation that, not so great writer, failed painter twice over, Adolf Hitler is talking about is, of course, white supremacy. The Völkisch order, the natural order, where the Völkisch Germans are supposed to dominate over everyone else. That's the order that he's talking about. If Hitler was doing push-ups in prison instead of writing nerd shit, he would have gotten bitches instead of getting beat the fuck out by Soviets. It's true. Damn, you never realized how much JBP sounds like Hitler? Yeah. You didn't. But he does. Actually, Three Arrows has done a great video on this. Me and Three Arrows actually teamed up to dissect some of this propaganda in the past as well, specifically talking about the Frankfurt School conspiracy and other things that Republicans take for granted regularly. Like, they just repeat Nazi propaganda because they know they can always go back to, oh, he just called everyone a Nazi. Okay? That's it. Just like whenever you fucking talk about transphobic people and you mention that they are being transphobic when they hold on to certain ideas, they can immediately be like, no, I'm not transphobic. Fuck you. You're the idiot. You're stupid. You just call everyone transphobic. And it relies on the majority also holding on to opinions like that. And therefore, they can say whatever the fuck they want with their entire chest as long as they hide certain elements of their attitude, certain points that they have, certain points of view that they have that, you know, the Norman would also consider to be transphobic. We're going to show the second image in that album. Oh, the Jewish doctrine of Marxism repudiates the aristocratic principle. Boom. That's the difference. Bigotry is the sword. Crying about wokeism is the shield. Brilliant strategy, honestly. Why was Jewish highlighted, lol? Oh, in order to show how Jordan Peterson and others in this day and age still straight up carbon copy Nazi Frankfurt School theories and just basically substitute like the Jewish doctrine of Marxism to, just cultural Marxism. In order to show that, he hid that originally and then basically showed the actual, writing in Mein Kampf. He's the protector of Western values. A few of you asked to see the actual sword from the shadow picture the other day. Here's some play. Wait, why the fuck is he using a curved sword? Isn't this a scimitar saber? Not a That's the sword of my people. What the fuck's he doing? Or is it a Chinese sword? It's a... Falchetta would be... it is a wushu blade, I think. Anyway, what I do know is that's not a Western sword, okay? Rufo picked it up without hesitating and carried it right to the heart of the GOP platform. Rufo, like Lindsey, is now incorporating the idea that the Jewish Frankfurt School engineered CRT to promote division between white and black Americans so that they could overthrow the white rule and install a communist government. This is literal neo-Nazism, plain as day. Soon after, Republican members of Congress had adopted this mythical origin story of CRT and regurgitated it confidently to scholars who knew much better than them, such as Mark Lamont Hill. By the way, if you haven't, you need to see this is among my favorite intellectual defenestrations of all time. Yeah, this was awesome. Mark Lamont Hill fucking absolutely eviscerates conceptual James here. Lots of these in his feed. He's so bad at this. They're not just going to let it collapse around them, folks. They'll have a contingency plan. But yeah, no, this part is awesome because like this is you have gotten to a point where you're just completely lost in the sauce when you're like, oh, the usage of the word folks actually is like is the same as like the Germans using folk. Not bad at it. He's self-reporting. I love that. Even the folk part is wrong. Germany still use Volk for all people living in Germany. Yeah. Because it just means people. That's what it means. It means people, guys. Volkswagen. The people's wagon. The car of the people. Just means... Okay, anyway. Yeah, das Autokussi. That's what it means, yeah. Okay, the word "the" is actually incredibly racist if you consider blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's just fucking unhinged ramblings I wanted to point to. Speaking of unhinged ramblings, Charlie Kirk. Dude, I love when they get so bored because they're just like dominating so hard that they have to come up with new and creative ways to dominate, and they stray away from like the OG shit. And that's how you arrive at like conceptual James saying folks is actually, Nazi shit. And that's how you arrive at Charlie Kirk saying this.
We have a huge housing crisis in our country, the likes of which we have not seen in a long period of time. But I believe that we need to build horizontally, not vertically. It's one of my speeches. Developers don't like it when I say this, but it's true. The higher the building, the more liberal the voter. It just is. So, and if you are, the closer to the ground you are, the more conservative you are. We should encourage people to spread horizontally and not vertically. Look at Denver. The higher the high rises.
The Trump Tower. What?
Has Denver become less free or more free? It's become a dystopian nightmare. You guys know that. Now you might say, Charlie, that's a correlation or the causation. Think about it. If you're on the 32nd floor renting, not owning, if you're not in the weeds and in the...
I wonder what all of his like fucking dying billionaire fan base, what kind of apartment complexes they own personally. You know what I'm saying? Like how many fucking developer billionaire freaks give this kid money?
Yard and understanding what it takes to grow food and to maintain the land, are you going to be more or less likely to actually be a conservative? The higher the building, every single study shows they become more liberal over time. It's happening in Phoenix, happened in Denver, happened in Atlanta, happened in Dallas, happened in Chicago, happened everywhere, and yet few people actually say that out loud. Whatever.
I mean, this is incredible. Incredible stuff. He's just bored. This is what happens when you have already won too much, okay? Like not the culture war, obviously, but you've won entirely too much in like on the legislative side. So then like you have to come up with new and interesting and unique ways of like saying the same shit, I guess. Does he weave 9/11? Yeah, Charlie with a pro 9/11 take, which is wild. I mean, Jesus, fucked up, dude.
I've seen the socialism.
Charlie Kirk explains socialist blatant hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, I don't like your ideology. I don't know about you. You seem like a nice enough person.
Yeah.
Your ideas are practically evil, but that's...
Bro, this dude is like physically incapable of wearing a hat, yet keeps trying. Someone needs to take hats away from him, okay? I've never seen someone fail to wear a hat. What's up with that? We need to figure out what the hell is going on in Charlie Kirk's head, okay?
Practically evil, but that's okay.
No, same for you.
Okay, tell me why.
Why does it look so weird? Every time he wears a hat, it looks so goddamn dumb, dude. It's so stupid. What the fuck?
What?
Tell me why.
Capitalism is a vampire. I don't know.
So what?
I said capitalism is a vampire that feasts on the blood of the working class.
Capitalism is a deadly vampire that feasts on the blood of the working class.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that for me?
I don't really want to right now, but like...
1 month HasanAbi subs. Okay, don't make fun of them. This kid is probably on a journey, okay, on a learning experience, on a learning journey, and he probably fucking hates me now. Let's be real. He's like, I've moved past. This kid probably now is like, I'm actually a Shining Path supporter. I'm a Maoist third worldist, and you have betrayed the applications of Marxist-Leninist principles. You've strayed away from that. And fuck you, I hate you. Or he's neoliberal again because, you know, Joe Biden is in office. So now he's like, now he's like a neoliberal who's like, actually, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You bought a house. I hate you. You bought a car. I hate you. I've moved beyond. I've realized it took a long time, but I finally recognized like your takes have always been wrong, actually. From the jump, because enough other YouTubers said that they were wrong and bad, so now I like those guys, and you banned me.
Like,
do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
So you're feasting on the blood of the working class. How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
How do you feel about that?
We all have to do the best that we can.
No, you don't. Why don't you go live on a farm and
fucking own, dude? Yeah, dude. Why don't you go live on a farm where famously no capitalism occurs? You know what I mean? How the fuck did you fucking build the wood? Did you make the wood? How did it materialize? Built the farm. Who raised the ground? There is no escaping capitalism under a capitalist organization of the economy. Your haters are out here stalking meme accounts. Wait, what? You are dumb. Please roast me about trans women competing in women's sports. I will annihilate you with facts. That's very cool. Here's a fact that takes zero effort to check. You just messaged a meme account. Good luck on your debate. Dude, my fucking haters are psychotic in every way, shape, and form, dude. They like... And then motherfuckers would be like, bro, you literally suck. You can't take criticism. I'm just like running away from weirdos like that, man. I can't deal with it anymore. I used to deal with it all the time. It just fucked me up.
Use the fruits of the working class and just be a socialist with your friends. Why use the fruits?
Been happening a lot on Twitter recently. Yeah, dude, I know why. Because it's just never going to stop. Okay? It's just never going to stop. And more people are going to see that, like, this is an opportunity to fucking get people activated. That's just it. You're trying to debate an account that posts shitty Pinterest-style codes of you? First of all, it's not shitty. It's hilarious. Fuck you. How dare you? And, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. There are entire communities that occupy themselves. There are entire communities that occupy themselves with being like, dude, this guy's bad. This guy's bad. This guy's bad. And I foolishly have replied to them for far too long. So now that it's just the way it is. But there is a funny part about that, because there are still people out there who are way more despised than me. And for better reasons. You know, because like people are like, oh, dude, you bought a house. You bought a car. oh, you can't take criticism because like these psychotic stalkers are actively trying to belittle you and humiliate you all day, every day. Okay, which by the way goes. This is the exact same argument that they use for the most part. Is like Vuvuzela iPhone 100%. But chatters in their first ever message was hella positive. You responded them with a huh? Did I? So they aren't getting the response from you, so now they're going after your fans? Yeah, and the reality is this, okay, boys? Boys, girls, and MBs. The way to deal with it is exactly the same. You just got to fucking keep your head down. They're going to move on. They're going to move away until the next controversy makes its run, okay? How dare you not listen to the extremely bad faith arguments from people who won't stand behind a single one of their own takes without claiming it's just a joke? Yeah. I help run Hasan updates and explaining Hasan, and there's constantly psychos in our replies. Oh yeah, dude, I know. They hunt for anyone that's not me saying nice things about me. Like they key search shit so they can fucking blow up the replies. It's insane. They want to make it cancerous to interact with me in any capacity. And ultimately they just go away. I can't do anything. For real, the haters hella mad, no cap. I mean, it's true. Yeah, but like I was saying, there are also people who are more despised than myself, like Tim Pool. Earlier this morning, I said, I called this as soon as Biden was elected, but Gamergate style politics is back. Luckily, there are awesome YouTube essays out there, and not everyone's doing the whole I'm a centrist, but lose my mind at the thought of 5 trans women competing in sports shit. Because that, in and of itself, the whole like, oh, dude, 5 women are competing in sports, like what the fuck, society is collapsing. That kind of take is just completely crafted. Okay? Completely and entirely crafted by Republicans as a wedge issue. And you are a sucker. You are 100% a sucker for getting caught up in that. You're a mark. You're a rube. You are a fool. You are an NPC. Okay? That's it. Now, this doesn't mean that there could be some kind of incredibly damaging things that occur to like women's sports or anything like that. There are plenty of problems with women's sports, right? Trans women competing with cis women is not one of them, though. But it's been made to feel like it's one of those things. It's the main thing. So I said, who would have thought that Dave Rubin and Tim Pool would be such an incredible inspiration for a whole new generation of right-wing content creators who happen to side with right-wing ideas while claiming to be the true progressives. And this is a phenomenon that you see all the time. Okay? All the fucking time. People think they're free thinkers and skeptics and then repeat what their grandpa is hearing from Fox News. Really brave takes all around. And of course, Tim Pool saw this. And he wanted to respond. He said, I'm not a progressive. Don't say I'm progressive. And say I'm moderate with a slightly left-leaning views on some policy. Our biggest audience faction identifies as libertarian. We rag on Fox News all the time. We see you as authoritarians. I said, Tim, you're literally doing the thing I'm making fun of right now. LARPing as though you're anything but a right-winger. If I were you, I'd worry about all these other guys gunning for your spot instead. Tim said, this is not a substantive argument. You're always welcome to come on the show and have a real discussion on the policy and the issues. Okay? So then, once he said that, I was like, okay, well, I've had a conversation with Tim Pool multiple times about this. Since the pandemic. He's been trying to get me to go on a show over and over again. And I always tell him, no, dog. I'm not going to fly out to wherever the fuck you live and take like multiple days off of streaming We can do this over Zoom or Discord or like many other viable options of communication, alternatives of communication over the internet. Okay? So I said, oh, wait, hold on. Here it is. Let me find the full thread. Okay, so this is what was going on this morning. It's pretty funny. I'm not a progressive. I said, Tim, you're literally doing the thing. This is not a substantive argument. I said, a debate to prove that you're right wing is probably the dumbest, least productive thing on the planet. This video from Timba on Toast does a great job if you want to break it down. We've watched this before. Okay? And of course, some people took this as like, oh, he's afraid of debating him. I'm like, no, I'm fine with debating him. I'm just not going to sit there and debate him on whether he's right wing or not. Okay? I don't care about that. That's like not even a remotely important subject to cover. Okay? It's just not. It's so stupid. Who cares? Said, why is there an always excuse from leftists not to come on IRL? Even with Joe Rogan, the left is scared to have real conversations. I said, oh no. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't travel to wherever you're at, but I'm always down to Zoom, as I've told you many times. I would, however, definitely travel to go on Rogan. Straight up. It's the truth. It's true. If Joe Rogan was like, Hasan, I want you to come on. We're going to debate in the marketplace of ideas. I'd be like, okay, I'm there. Name the time and place. I'll pull up, pussy. Straight up. Then he said, bro, it's so shallow. I can make every offer for a real sit down, and the only response is some bullshit about how you can't or won't. Bosch came on twice, but you won't, and always have some lame excuse. Last time it was COVID. Well, what's your excuse now? Fear? Now, first of all, let's move past the fact that my mom was living with me and at the time, and I did not want to risk getting COVID and like giving her COVID. Okay? Let's move past that. Like, that's an unreasonable fear, okay? But back then, I told him, like, let's do a Zoom. Like, I'm down. Let's do a Zoom. Let's do a Zoom. He's done Zoom calls with Ben Shapiro. He's done Zoom calls with Sam Cedar, but he doesn't want to do them anymore. Okay? I said, my excuse is that Zoom and Discord exist, and I stream 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. If I'm going to take time away from that, it's going to be to have fun and not travel to wherever you are to spend time with you in person. I have friends in Austin, and I think Joe Rogan is still cool. Like, why? Why do you want me to fucking be up in your shit, dude? And if you're so desperate to have a be up in my shit type conversation, like, you can come to LA. I mean, I'm not inviting you to my house. Don't misunderstand me. We'll find like neutral territory or something far away from my home if you want to do a in-person debate or something, okay? Then he said, but last time you said it was COVID. I actually think your ideas can't stand up to scrutiny, so you need a shield, which is why you make excuses. Like, no, but I'm not. And that's the thing that is like really strange about this. This was one of the best replies. Debate me, bro. Come to my house and debate me, bro. Come on, bro. Please, bro. Come over. Take a shirt off and debate me, bro. Please, bro. So last time you said it was COVID, and I, quote tweeted, I said, Tim, I'm fine with having a conversation with you. I am not fine with flying out to you and having it in person. Zoom is available since before the pandemic. You keep trying to be physically in my space. It's weird as hell. And it doesn't make sense. I guess this is new. In-person conversations are better and the internet makes us hate each other. Better to meet in person, shake hands, talk it out, and carry on. I'm just not coming over to your place for it. If you wanna pull up to Los Angeles, we can arrange a place to do so. Still kind of weird. Absolutely have to do it in person. The thing is, like I don't I don't mind. I've done plenty of in-person debates. Okay? I'm just not coming over to your place. If you want to pull up to Los Angeles, we can arrange a place to do so. Here, there you go. I'll delete the last part. He wants to own the feed so he can edit it. Yeah, I know. He wants the pic of you two hugging so he can say he won or some shit. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Why do people act like you invented socialism? I don't fucking know. They're so stupid. No hats allowed nightclub rules. He only wants it in person because he knows you don't want to smell him. No, I mean, dude, I don't know how he smells. Yeah, we'll do it at the H3 studio. I think we could do it. Hasan doesn't have a place or equipment for a podcast like Tim does, co-parter. That's not even remotely true. What the fuck? Hold on. Anyway, some people were basically saying like, "Oh, dude, he needs chat. He needs chat." Like, these motherfuckers don't know. First of all, that's pure projection. These motherfuckers don't know that I'm literally better at debating when I don't have chat in my fucking ear yapping non-fucking stop. Famously so. All the fucking debates that I've conducted in person have been significantly better than the ones I've done in my studio, okay? Even though I hate debates. But it's so much better when I don't have a bitch in my ear yapping about fucking how bad Little Caesar's pizza tastes, okay? And Little Caesar's Pizza in this argument is chat telling me, oh, you're doing this wrong. Yeah, debates are much easier when you have a little bitch chat in your ear telling you how you're doing everything wrong and backseating it. Debate lords are the worst people. Ignore them, lol. I mean, you guys forget that I have you ask him to video call right now so he can turn you down. No, I mean, I'm fine. I would debate him if he wants to come to LA. You're going to make it convenient for me. That's fine. You wouldn't debate with Grimes, but you're willing to debate with Tim Pool, misogyny much. So that's the other thing. People were like posting fucking videos of like me and Grimes and be like, oh, you weren't weird enough for, it wasn't weird for Grimes to come over. It's like, yeah, exactly. Because she's cool and interesting. Whereas I don't feel that way about Tim Pool, like at all. Why is that so hard to understand? Like, what the fuck? And she came to my house. Why do you always give these guys time of day? Just have fun, lol? Well, it would be really fun if we did that. What is this?
I think I've crafted a strategy that creates a paradox that cannot be countered in any reasonable capacity. I'm sure there will be attempts, but the ultimate issue is this. I tweeted abolish the ATF. I tweeted abolish the IRS. Which one of those, if any, are my actual opinions? I also tweeted, there was a study saying that, Fauci said something like COVID lockdowns. Or they said something like, we don't know if there's ever going to be an end to the pandemic. And so then I said, okay, then release all the restrictions. there's actual opinions in there. Which one's the real one? Maybe you can come to one of my, podcasts and try and figure out how I really feel about things. Do I really want to abolish the ATF? I said abolishing the police is wrong. What's my real opinion? Go ahead and figure it out, journalists. You won't be able to, which means any tweet ever used by any publication from me will be them publishing complete bunk BS.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's... Dude, he fucking owned them, dude. Wow. That's awesome.
Because you will not be able to determine which one of my tweets is real.
That's right. I have no views on anything I've ever said. You can never own me. I mean, that's kind of like the basis. Innuendo Studios talks about this a lot, which is like at the basis of like why debate lords are impossible to defeat, because debating is all about like making the other side look emotionally exhausted and rhetorically overpowering them. And if you don't have genuinely held beliefs, then you can always switch around on your genuinely held beliefs, supposedly. In which case, when you do switch around, it's emotionally exhausting for the opponent that actually does have like principled principled opinions that are backed by their moral system. So that's how you always defeat everyone in the marketplace of ideas. That's how the fucking alt-right debates. Tell him your mom said you can't come because she doesn't know his mom. He can't press you then. Owned. This is just like the Tim Pool fence sitter video you watched. Yeah, I did. Timba on toast. Someone said that Timba on toast is not a fan of mine and he's more of like a debate lord, but I don't care. For the record, I don't give a shit. This is a great video, and he's made a lot of good videos as well. It doesn't matter. I respect good content creators no matter what, even if they don't personally like me or whatever the fuck. This is a great video. This is one of those great videos. Aren't you defining debating based on how it's perceived to be and not how it should be? There are plenty of instances where debate spaces can depend on the validity of arguments. Yeah, okay. That's not what happens, though. So. And also, once again, debate lords are impossible to shake because now they want me to fucking debate just the efficacy of debates. And that is just crazy. I don't want to do that, man. I don't. Conversations that revolve around an honest back and forth of differing opinions cannot happen between YouTubers who are doing pseudo-intellectual sparring for content. It just can't. It needs to be between two people that respect one another, two people that at least have like some kind of knowledge on the matter. And the unfortunate reality is that, all of your favorite intellectual daddies and mommies on the internet are not said people, or even if they are those people, they don't end up having that conversation with people who are honest and have integrity. That's not how it works. Like, even if you are the fucking main person, might have a PhD on the subject matter that you're talking about, the person across from you, in most circumstances, is not going to be well-credentialed or honest. It's just for clout and basically reinforcing your team's ideas for Bloodsport and doing it in a way where you're just like rapid firing talking points and also finding out exactly who can rationalize actual logical fallacies as best as possible. That's where it comes from. Like, it's literally all of the YouTube debates. If I wanted to put on my fucking annoying like debate bro hat for a brief moment and analyze any kind of debate that you watch, that you hold up as like profound or really good. And a lot of YouTube essayists do this too. What is this? Seems like Timba is defending you. Defending free speech is easy until you get offended by something. Free speech is meant to protect unpopular speech. Popular speech by definition needs no protection. I'm furious. An employee of one of the young... Oh, this is old, though. This is 2019, my friend. A lot has changed since 2019. A lot of people who loved me in 2019 no longer love me as much, okay? Let's be real. But it doesn't matter. Again, he's a great essayist, and I like his stuff on Tim Pool. So... Anyway, what I was talking about is I don't even know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he still likes my shit. Who knows? But if I were to put on my debate bro hat for a second and like look through, for example, like one of your favorite debates, I would find a litany of logical fallacies, arguments that look great on paper or in front of the camera, especially if you are able to overwhelm your opponent in that situation, arguments that are made specifically for cutting, for highly viral clips in the aftermath of the debate. The nuclear fallout of a debate is what actually matters. That's where the staying power is. How quickly you can effectively launch your argument or your community. He tweeted this too. In this house, we stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. Yeah, he's like... Debate is literally just intellectual team sports, pseudo-intellectual team sports. In debate classes and shit, they just assign you to one side of the issue and you are measured in your skill at making arguments and winning. Both Emma Vigeland and Matt Ledge said they both like you and side with you on what you said about Michael recently on MR Monday. Wait, what? What I said about Michael recently on Majority Report made it to MR Monday? Why are people combing this guy's tweets after you said you just don't care about the author? I don't know. It's just the way that people operate. They can't stop it. And I get fascinated by it, so it's like easy for them to continue doing that. You're right, I shouldn't. Stop combing through people's tweets. And Iammer said that you didn't want to invoke Michael's name when talking about debaters, but that you said nice things about him and that said he was a great guy. Yeah. No, I just don't like using. I don't like using friends of mine, even if they're friends of mine, and even if I knew them well, their name to make an argument. You know, later on after they have passed. Unfortunately, that's all I was trying to say. Yeah, I said. I thought it was inappropriate to weaponize Michael's memory. Yeah, that's what I said. Even though he would 100% agree with me. Did. Okay. All right, we did the Brooklyn subway guy. Beyond parody.
Many people...
Folks have been comparing the weird GMB morning show interview with the climate activists in the UK with that scene from Don't Look Up. So we at the Mandy Hasan show put them side by side and the results are astounding. Reality mirroring art. Let's take a look.
Would agree.
The only reality that mirrors art here is my consistent, forgetful nature of the top of the hour ad break, though. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. And you can do that for $5 or you can do that for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? We're going to watch the gay show in a little bit. You understand? Coming after this. We can go back to Gay Among Us. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
that we have to wean ourselves off oil. But at the same time, they deeply resent having their personal lives massively interrupted.
How big is this thing? Could it, like, destroy someone's house? Is that possible?
I don't think any of us want to be disrupting people's lives, but I think given the science and the things that academics are saying about what oil is causing around the world, and in this country too, this is the level of action that needs to be taken.
It's somewhere between 6 and 9 kilometers across, so it's big. It would damage the entire planet, not just a house.
I wonder if any of you have read the latest IPCC reports that have come out this year. You know, what they have said is that we are on the road for climate catastrophe.
Well, as it's damaging, will it hit this one house in particular that's right on the coast of New Jersey? It's my ex-wife's house. I need it to be hit.
And the clothes that you're wearing, to some extent, owe their existence to oil because they were taken in a car or a truck or a van to a shop, you know?
I'm sorry, are we not being clear?
We're talking about crop failure by 2030. We're talking about people in this country right now in fuel poverty because of the prices of oil. And you're talking about the clothes that I'm wearing.
No.
We're trying to tell you that the entire planet is about to be destroyed.
Well, and for those who are planning to get away over the Easter holidays, could they expect more disruption, do you think?
Just something we do around here. You know, we just keep the bad news light.
I like this. I mean, I like feeling right. Every now and then, it's cool to have a fucking an entire movie dedicated to being like, "Hey, you're right, by the way, for your feelings." A lot of people were snarky about it on left Twitter, even, and it's certainly not, you know, McKay's best. Let's be fucking real. The man did Vice after all. I think there was a way more creative way of broaching the subject than, you know, making it as on the nose as possible, but. All right. It made people really pissed though. Like it just like upset so many motherfuckers. I don't know why. Like maybe it just upset people because it just like what it thought to accomplish. It basically devalued by the medium that it was made in. Because like part of it is literally about like how people commoditize the end of the world under a capitalist organization of the economy, and that's precisely what happened here. It's like a popular Netflix movie. So I don't know. But it was good. And I mean, this is yet another example of that. I don't know. I think I'm honest, okay? I'm a simple man with a simple brain. I don't claim to be an intelligent man. And as a simple man with a simple brain, I like seeing movies say, "Hey, Hasan, you simple man with a simple brain, you're right." Made me feel good. I like that feeling. I don't get to experience it a lot. That feeling is profoundly important. That feeling is so important that it causes Republicans to watch all the shitty fucking Daily Wire movies that people make. Or Kevin Sorbo. Think about that for a second. Republicans literally are relegated to watching the absolute worst fucking culture, specifically because like no one in Hollywood is making shit that says you're right to Republicans. No, Louis Vuitton. Apparently he's a HasanAbi head. Who's that? I don't know, but Louis Vuitton Beats? What the fuck? He doesn't even follow me, but he's wearing my fucking... What? He's wearing my merch.
Yep.
Yep, that's exactly what it sound like. A to the L-I-Y. A, give it up 2 times, they give it right.
Don't legal abortions in gays help with climate change and overpopulation? It insinuated that they only would happen under Trump and didn't critique the fact that no one gives a shit at the top. I think they did. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. Honestly, you're so self-deprecating. Sometimes your takes are refreshing and don't feel alone in my progressive views. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I do what I do. But I think I'm a little bit more realistic about my lack of intellectual superiority in comparison to the annoying fucking dudes that literally create entire brands around how intelligent they actually are to their deeply insecure audience of also unintelligent people. It's like a lot of debate bros straight up do what PUA guys do. Okay? And I'll explain why and how. So, what a lot of debate bros do on the internet is present themselves as like the intellectual giant who can duke it out in the marketplace of ideas, right? And in an effort to craft this like brand for themselves, just like the pickup artist guy or the red pill guy creates a brand of like being a macho dude, okay? Like this over-the-top bravado, machismo, this macho guy is a totally fabricated artificial image that does not reflect the reality at all, okay? It doesn't. And that's what debate guys do all the time as well. They make themselves appear as intelligent as possible. I at least tell you I'm fucking stupid. For the debate bro don't like has been like 5 months long. How can people stop bringing it up? I don't know. Like, here it is. Weren't you a PUA guy in the past? I mean, I've made videos. I do Chad Vice still, if you consider that too. Like, immediately, this is the... It's not some crazy hot take that people downplay climate change. No need to brag, lol. Like, this is one of those people. This is the kind of, negative shit that they fester. PUA's pickup artist shit. Yeah, but that is the kind of dickhead I'm talking about. Or at least, like, that is the kind of dickhead that manifests in audiences like that want to lock you into an unnuanced and uncomplicated, singular...
Asked Hasan how Michael would feel about this online infighting and canceling, and Hasan's reply was great. He basically said, Michael was a friend of mine, and I don't feel it's appropriate to use his memory as some sort of weapon. Michael and I talked about this, and our content is available online. If you want to know how Michael would feel about this, you could just look up his massive body of work and read his book. I mean,
that's very well said.
very well said. Contrast that with other people who have
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow this drama. I saw Volch got into some with ContraPoints too. I kind of, well, I guess I like Hasan. Hasan showed up to our live show in TMBS in LA, and I think he's a nice guy. So I'll on the basis of that, say I side with Hasan.
I also like Hasan. So
that's sigh.
there's right.
That's the sigh of a... I found the best photo of you ever. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Me and Eric Andre. That's the sigh of a person who's like, oh, God, I said I like Hasan. I'm going to have to defend this now. Like a sea of psychotic fucking weirdos who are literally more deranged than you ever could be. And therefore, kind of difficult to defeat in intellectual sparring. That is the sigh of a person who's like, I can't admit this because, like, I know, oh my Lord, Or maybe it's a sigh about Michael Brooks. It could be that too. Probably is that. Second thought. Quick context, I missed it. Well, I mean, she wasn't talking about Michael in that situation. That's why I thought it might be the former rather than the latter. She gets a lot of weirdos too. Yeah, I know. Everyone, dude, it's everyone who's like, oh, Emma has worse weirdos that do that shit to her. She's also a woman on top of that. The fuck do you mean? Being a woman on the internet is way worse than being a fucking leftist on the internet. Straight up. So this is the Druski clip that got him canceled. I guess people were yelling at him. It's a clip about how like guys get gross and want to feed you shots.
Never have I ever kissed a dude. That's all right. Take a shot. Take a shot. Oh, she bullshit, bro. That baby ass shot, bro. You ain't even pouring a real shot. Keep going. That's a regular shot. I got the same amount of mine. I got the same amount. Nah, you got the whole shit. Y'all already got to catch up, guys. Y'all already got to catch up. Finish the rest of that. Finish the rest of it. Crazy. Oh, yo, that's some demon time, huh?
Wait, is this real or is he joking? No, dude, of course he's joking. What the fuck are you guys talking about? He's like literally making fun of creepy people.
Drive the boat. You gotta drive. Make sure they see it. Drive they see it. Hey, look.
Nah, perfectly caught this guy in 8K. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean they caught him in 8K?
Hey, truth and dare.
This is like a pre-established bit. What the fuck are you talking about?
I did, hey, 5 shots on her stomach. Come on. One more than we done. One more, get the job.
You are falling for it? Wait, what do you mean I'm falling for? Oh, 8K, it's obvious. Okay, my bad. I'm falling for the person being sarcastic in the chat.
One more than we done. I promise. One more. He real. He talking. One more than we done. He telling the truth. I promise. He telling the truth. One more than we done.
So, the reason why I didn't understand if that person was being sarcastic or not is because people literally didn't understand it. And they fucking said that, like, they actually said that. Like, they were like, no, he's saying, like, that's funny, and, like, he's championing rape culture. Which is fucking insane. Just curious because there's obviously 2 different ways people view the video. What was the caption of the video? So they mad at Druski because the skit hitting too close to home? Does it be like that sometimes? Yeah, I can't understand that, like, that's the least charitable take you get from that video. Yeah. It's literally fucking making fun of people who do incredibly creepy shit like this. And I think, like, I can't tell if, like, dudes got mad at this because they behaved this way, or, like, over-the-top woke people got mad at this because they were like, he's championing rape culture. He's, like, making a mockery of rape culture. He's trivializing and minimizing rape culture. What is this? Hitting a backflip in your kitchen is crazy as fuck.
What the fuck? Somebody said, is that Duke Deuce? Oh!
Mine's your love for high speed rail and Evangelion? No. Man turned off gravity. That's crazy. I don't know how the fuck he did that.
Okay, hold up. Hold the fuck up, Backstreet Boy.
Anyway. Obviously it's a joke, but I feel like there's the type of guy that's going to think it's cool with that parody going over their head. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying? There's going to always be someone. There's always going to be people who are misunderstanding what you are intending to do. Like, are we just going to fucking defeat any sort of nuance in art? Like, it can't have any kind of... No art can be subject to interpretation. You can't also show bad things in art because... You can't show bad things. You can't show people being bad, for example, because like then other people will look to that and go, wow, I want to be bad too. Just like that. Anyway, I like Druski a lot, okay? I like Jack Harlow a lot, and I like Druski a lot. I think he's pretty funny. And every skit that I've seen of his has been fucking excellent. I don't know why the fuck they tried to delete that, or he actually ended up deleting it. I remember the caption was somewhere along the lines that there's always one guy like this. I mean, you can tell by his facial expressions that he's conveying that the bit is showing how weird and predatory dudes like this can be. Yeah, exactly. Oh, what the fuck? Fresh? Hasan watches a short feminism video? What's going on, everybody? Hasan Piker and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live. Jubilee did a feminism video. We're going to watch it. The closer you are to a From Software character, the drippier you are. I've never said blammo. Oh my God, I hate women. I hate women so much. I've literally never hated women and feminists more in this fucking very moment. He murdered his own child. So obviously that doesn't happen in a vacuum. Just like the top of the hour ad break doesn't happen in a fucking vacuum, you incels. I'm trying so hard not to sexually assault you right now, madam. Because I fuck your mom every night. And she seems to enjoy the ad break announcements. Oh my God, Hasan is in a fucking perpetual stun lock again. When I say feminism doesn't matter, I'm saying that, like, that's a red herring that has been established by Republicans to say that moral degeneracy and decay and the reason why you feel horrible about your life is because of blue-haired SJW feminists. All right, let's continue with this feminism video.
There's a shame to ask for it.
I've lost my voice. I've been screaming. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Oh my God. Insane. Please make this controversial somehow so it'll blow up. This is the perfect... oh my God. BumbleBaum captured... What's going on, everybody? BumbleBaum captured my stream from top to bottom. We're going to watch it. From having fun. This is the video, by the way. Hasan watches a short feminism video by BumbleBaum. Go support this. These 12-hour Hasan streams are getting redundant. Absolute fire. Incredible. Can't even be mad about the poop sock? No, I deserve that. Comment in the video criticizing for taking you out of context so it generates drama. Yeah, here. If you want something to pop off, I'll just be like, oh, I hate it. The only thing missing was you leaving during the video. See, like, there's always a guy. There's always a guy, dude. There's a guy in here right now. He's the guy. There's always got to be someone out here to be like, dude, you always leave, dude. You literally leave always, dude. You never watch videos. Famously, I am a guy who never watches the videos. Tom partakes in intermittent fasting. Oh my God, stop. Okay, there you go. Now, can't believe you said go support this instead of posting the link in your Twitch, Discord, Instagram, MySpace every 5 seconds to get all the exposure of you denying 29K viewers. Yeah, I know. Okay. We say there's always one Cowboys fans at any NFL event, and the same can be said true about your haters. Yeah. Dude, Gay Among Us spoilers edited out by me. What is this? You did this? You edited out the spoilers on Gay Among Us? Are we on episode 5? Watch me, dude. Cat owners you are down. So psychotic, dude. Every cat owner is a bad cat owner. Okay.
Sorry, HasanAbi, but as a crazy manic victim-blaming cat owner, I must defend my cats and absolutely debunk your claims on our feline pals.
Like, how are you gonna fucking compare that to like a cat that literally has mood swings and will turn around and fuck you up for no reason?
Curious you say cats will attack randomly. Well, look at Exhibit A. Does this look like a cat with mood swings? I didn't think so.
Time and time again, I'll be petting a fucking cat, and then cat will decide, I no longer want to be pet. Literally going from purring to fucking trying to rip my fingers off.
Once again you proclaim the cats will fuck you up when interacting with them. Let's move on to Exhibit B. This is my cat Echo and I, playing fetch. Wow, so dangerous. And then here we are taking a cat.
Bro, this is literally a video that you made in the most ceremonious cat owner way possible of your cats. You made 0 arguments and you just showed your cat. And your cat is cute, right? But that's not an argument.
Catnap. Well, does this look scary? Wow, so scary.
I thought, like, you know, we were just vibing. And then before I know it, it's like, no, just kidding. You're just like a fucking villain.
No, HasanAbi. Maybe it is you who is the true villain. So, how does it feel to be totally owned by a wacky silly willy cat owner? Good day, and thanks for watching.
HasanAbi announces he's gay? What? They're laughing. Yo, you could say that's like you, Hasan, all day, every day, motherfucker. That's way worse, okay? At least I have good form on my shot. Chat, stop using every opportunity to shit on your favorite streamer challenge. Impossible difficulty, I know. What's wrong with you? The chatters are so hopped up on trying to make me look bad that you're like, oh, look at this idiot. Couldn't even make a shot. It's half court. Secondly, this was a half court shot. You guys. Anyway, what is this Disney, cutie bro? It's gay as You're gay as for liking Disney, okay? I'm sorry. You are mega gay, okay? Especially as a adult.
Hello, Dad.
Shut up.
Dad.
Jesus
Dad,
Christ.
I'm gay. I'm gay, Dad.
It's literally princes and princesses, dude.
Yeah.
Holy
Hasan
shit.
told me. I like women. I'm mega gay.
True.
You, Hasan, you don't like anything. You don't like anything besides pussy.
That's not even true. I don't even like pussy, dude. What the fuck? I'm done with that, dude. I'm done. I'm done with all that, dude. No pussy for me, okay?
The YMCA, the gay national anthem. Did you ever hear that?
Oh, god damn. That wasn't even that hard, but fuck.
What's up? Bro, why do I need haters when I got fans that do their job for them, bro?
What's up? What's up? Kissing Franks.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit. I'll be like, dude, please, I need help. Like, don't make fun of me. And then you motherfuckers will be like, oh, that's my, you know, I think he meant like make fun of him harder. This is not a hater video. You coming out would be amazing for you. I mean, it would be true, but I just watched the BumbleBaum one. It was awesome. Have you heard about what's going on in Palestine? What isn't going on in Palestine? Dude, I turned it up when YMCA came on and informed all my cho workers it's his favorite song. Yeah, dude, because of Donald Trump. This person edited out all the spoilers in this fucking show. We're back. We're back to watching Gay Among Us, by the way. I think you sussy little bakas need to do Gay Among Us, okay? Best show that we've seen since Black White, by the way. I don't know how many fucking poop socks are in this, but I assume. There's gonna be some. At least one. Okay, here. We're back to watching Gay Among Us. Full Midwestern heartthrob. Find a straight man. Or are all the remaining contestants gay? Hardcore gay porn at the end, by the way. Let's do it. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let's watch some hardcore gay porn. Zach is from Syria. Oh, he's a Syrian immigrant? Yep. I am from Syria. I am from Jersey, he says proudly. Oh, God. I'm from Syria is understandable. I'm from Jersey, though? Unacceptable. Proud about that? What the fuck?